Hi, I'm Daniel. If you were wondering what the heck that was, don't worry about it. Today I'm gonna look at my first playthrough of Silksong. And for some of you that might realize, where the heck are the videos, Daniel? I have been actually working on a retrospective of some kind of a game I played many years ago, like I think 12 years ago. The script is all done. I'm going to make that video, but Silksong suddenly came out. Speaking of, the game is f***ing awesome. To be fair, it's not perfect, you know, double damage traps, I know, but we're gonna get into that right now. Put on your headphones, or earplugs or something, or in-ear monitors, by the way, and grab your favorite beverage or coffee, and let's jump in. I will not be going through the entire game as in 100%, because I haven't done that yet. Some people have, but I will go until the end of the first boss, or like the final boss, as in the bad ending. At least I assume it's the bad ending. Let's finally get this going. So on September 4th, I, of course, started the game, slowly prepared myself. By the way, Steam sales, I know, the Steam sales were insane. You know, it took like, I don't know, like I think 2 hours until it was fixed, something along those lines. It's fine, you know, I chilled for 2 hours and slowly got started. Usually, because I'm a PC player, I like to get into the settings, you know, check the resolution. Okay, it is 240 Hertz. I don't think I changed the brightness of the game, which, to be fair, I think if I did another playthrough, I probably would turn the brightness of the game on. It's very dark in some spots. And similar to Hollow Knight, we don't have, you know, the item that lights things up. That would help a lot, but I haven't seen that yet. Maybe that's a very, very late game thing. But to be honest, I also didn't have one of the major abilities at all, which made things pretty difficult. But yeah, either way, gonna skip ahead. This first scene was, I think, slightly changed. Also, maybe the quality is higher. This was actually in the very first Silksong trailer. That was the reveal trailer of Silksong. Beautiful, of course not with crazy music like a trailer usually has. So we're gonna skip past that one, you know. Act 1, and you're gonna laugh. Act 1 Farloom. I was like, alright, cool, Farloom, yeah, that's I knew this is the kingdom, right, we're in. I forgot I was still in Act 1 when I fought the judge, and suddenly it's Act 2, and I was like, wait a second, this was just Act 1. I had like, my mind was blown. I was like, wait a second, all this so far was Act 1. It was insane. I love this. There's levels to this. So, of course, the beginning of the game, and I think I instantly tried out the controls, like how does it feel to move Hornet? Because that was the one thing I was kind of scared about, is like in a 2D game, I need to enjoy moving my character, or it's just, it's gonna be difficult for me to enjoy it. I, for example, didn't enjoy Shovel Knight because you slide around like everything is ice. I absolutely despise it. Also, as you may realize, I didn't go to the right. Rule number 1 in Metroidvanias, go the opposite direction. I didn't until the very end of this game, like literally yesterday. And I'm 24 hours or 23 hours in now. You know, you live and learn, right? There are a lot of secrets. I noticed, of course, the diagonal slash and is a bit, it's very different. Thankfully, we have crests later on, which I have a whole thing to talk about when we finally get there. So let's keep on moving. This is the first area, and of course, we get, oh yeah, this is one of these scenes where I think, my guess is from a lore perspective, I won't go too much into the lore, because I'm gonna make like a billion other videos anyways, is, I think she's right now resisting maybe like the control of the final boss at this point. Maybe, and that's why she like slows down there. Who knows? But yeah, we have Gross Mother, if I'm remembering the names correctly. Moss Mother, sorry. Gross Motto is the Mossy Grotto. Why am I saying Gross Motto all the time? I always say it the opposite way. Anyways, so yeah. We have her. I think this was first try, you know, no big deal. Again, I'm gonna quickly skip ahead, and I think it was not that difficult, to be fair. So there's that. Again, she is defeated. I think this was the first try. I think I only got hit. I think I got hit a few times. Of course, we can heal. I love that the heal is now 3 hearts, or, you know, 3 masks. Let's call them what they are. I still haven't figured out what the heck this goddamn door is. I know lore enjoyers and everyone that has 100%. I'm sure this opens. I still haven't figured it out. Anyways, and then of course we have this scene again, and you know, we get woken up by. I think the chapel maid, correct? I also have a feeling there's gonna be something with her. Who knows? I'm sure there are a lot of secrets. And then, of course, probably one of the most beautiful moments is, you know, when we first walk out of here. This is such a beautiful moment, right? Just like pretty much an entrance to the actual game. Such a beautiful thing. Of course, going into Bone Bottom, but also more importantly, I actually listened to all the dialogue, or read all the dialogue, because, you know, you can't really listen to it. I mean, unless you like the sound, of course, right? But you wouldn't understand anything, which I actually prefer a lot more in games, instead of like actual voice dialogue, because the beauty of it is if you don't have the dialogue you have to listen to, the beauty is you can just have sounds in the background, like it's good for your ears, so you have something. But you can read a lot faster, potentially. I like that combination, actually. But of course, it's only usually possible in, like, cartoony-ish games like this. So, yeah. Again, skipping ahead, I was looking through the, you know, the first shop and realizing, oh my god, this stuff costs a lot of money. 500 for a simple key. So I was, like, mentally preparing myself for... This is going to be a bit different. To be fair, I can actually show later, when I finally get there, where you can farm like 2,000 rosaries fairly easy. Maybe I should also make videos on that, but I also don't want to, like, you know, milk the heck out of this. Anyhow, of course, the bellways, and we're gonna skip a little bit further ahead, of course. The best character, Sherma. I like that actually a lot of NPCs react to, like, you hitting something. It's a beautiful thing. So, yeah. Skipping a bit ahead, then we have the first, like, I guess people call it a gauntlet, right? Like, just a bunch of enemies spawning in. Of course, it becomes more difficult as time goes on. I think I was still getting used to, like, the diagonal slash and everything, like, right here. Maybe overshooting it a little bit here and there. So, you slowly get used to the diagonal slash, but to be fair, I'm not a huge fan of it. I can imagine, though, as you learn the game more, you will become an absolute god at it. You become a machine. But right now, I like me some, you know, the usual pogo. You know, I love that a lot more. So, of course, we open the door, and this brings us into the first, to the first bench. And I think you instantly have to, like, spend cash, so I did that. Sorry if, you know, the Steam recording, like, breaks a little bit here and there. I'm sure it's gonna crash at some point, so get ready for that. So then, of course, the Fleas are right next to the beginning, so it's pretty much, I think, one of the first introductions. Similar to, actually, if you think about the grubs. The grubs were, like, right down to Dirtmouth in Hollow Knight and to the left, and you instantly found them. Or at least, you instantly got some sort of, like, here's a collection quest, right? I will give you something for it. Similar here, I think I didn't fully understand that it's actually the Fleas yet. Maybe I didn't understand like, there's a lot of stuff, right? A lot of characters, a lot of new areas. So understanding everything for me is kind of, like, tough. Either way, moving on ahead, I, of course, found a few secrets here and there. I also, I think, found one of the first secrets in the very first beginning of the area, you know, where you just go into the water and to the other side. Which, by the way, I love that Hornet can swim. That's amazing. I love that so much. That's a really great addition, that we don't have to, like, learn how to swim or something. Which makes sense for the knight, but Hornet is, like, you know, a warrior. She probably learned basic things. She can't run, apparently, though. So there's that. To be fair, I think, isn't the running explained in some sort of, like, Silk Swift Step, something along those lines? But, you know, step by step. Of course, we're gonna skip ahead a little bit more, and we found... I love this so much, by the way. I love that you can hear her, like, sing from far away. It's just... It's beautiful. I actually thought about this. How beautiful it is for a game called Silk Song. It has song in the name. You can work with music so much more than in other games. Because you can't go, like, quadruple down in some games with music. You know, maybe some boss has like a big organ and it attacks you with an organ and it flies around. You can of course work with that, but this entire game has music as a major part, and it's so beautiful, and you can use it in so many different ways where it doesn't seem weird. It's like, why is this sound? Why is this person singing? Like, why is that? Like, no, it just all makes sense. In this world, of course, you can't like copy paste it into Metroid Dread and suddenly, you know, enemies sing or something. Like, that would make sense, right? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing that just gives it like such a deep layer, a deep dish, a deep dish pizza. Anyways, shard pendant. So yeah, is this where I... No, I think this is actually where I skipped this. I think I went like a little bit all over the place. I think I even died here. Yeah, this is actually where my first death happened, and you know, tried to go ahead of the Shakra. But I also missed my first pendant right here, where you have to actually go down and left. So there's that. Got the shard pendant. This, I think, lives on my body all the time. Maybe not now anymore, like after many, many hours, but this was one of the major things I always used. It was, spoiler by the way, it was Magnite Brush, it was shard pendant, and it was the compass, of course. For the beginning of the game, you kind of need a compass to know where the heck you are. So that pretty much lived on my body. So I briefly took a look there on the crest, which we're gonna get into that. So skipping a little bit ahead, then I found this, which, you know, is the first weavers and all that, which was like kind of a surprise. Even though I think you see it in the here as well at the beginning of the game, if I'm correct. I don't know if I actually went to the right here. Did I? I don't know if I did. I probably did, but I didn't really like put one and one together and seeing, oh, those are the weavers. I don't know why I didn't, because I think it's from the side. You know, it's not... I mean, it's pretty goddamn obvious, but, you know, my brain. So yeah, got the first skill, which is pretty cool. I think I used this for... To be fair, I used pretty much all these skills until I got the next skill. You know what I mean? So I used this one for as long as possible, but then I got the slashy slash, like the AoE attack. Then I used that for majority of time, and then I got the attack where you thrust through enemies. Then I used that all the time. So skipping a little bit ahead, we of course got the Bell Beast, which I think I died once, but you know, at some point, I think it's the second try, you know, beat the Bell Beast. And I think it was also... Right, that is interesting, the Silk card. I still haven't... Okay, there are two things. I feel like the Silk... I don't know why we get a Silk card from him. But I have a feeling that the Silk card is probably one of the major ways to unlock, like, the true ending, because I only have 2 out of 3. Something that is this incredibly rare. There has to be something with that. And I also, sadly, I wasn't fully aware when I found a Silk card, because sometimes you're in this area that we are right now without actually getting a Silk card, you know? So I thought, oh, when I'm in this area, I get a Silk card. No, that's not the case. Sometimes you can be in like this Weaver area looking thing, but you're actually just like getting an ability. And I'm like, huh, okay, so this is kind of more like lore stuff. But by the way, I love this area. I love this area so much. Like visually, I guess this is more of a... I feel like this is maybe more in like the head off Hornet, but the Silk probably still does a lot, right? Because someone or something is talking to her, probably through the Silk she absorbs, but it's happening in her head, right? Not in a physical space. So yeah, consumed Silk Heart. Then gotta skip ahead a little bit more. We gotta skip ahead, right? We're 1 hour in. We have 15 more to go. 14. Sorry, spoiler. So yeah. Bone bottom repairs. So I actually used most... I donated so much, by the way. I donated all my stuff all the time, more or less. Probably wasn't a good idea. But, so, the quest system. It's a beautiful thing. I actually really love it. It's the one thing that was missing in Hollow Knight, I think, where you got a quest, kind of, to do something for someone, but you could never recount it again or look it up again. And this is a major way to fix that issue. Of course, the one crazier way would be to go maybe the Ori route, right? Where it literally tells you on the map, right there, go here. But this is, I think, like a medium, right? You still have to be active in reading and understanding what the quest says and where to do it. Which, thankfully, it actually tells you most of the time. I'm very happy about that. But this is a great system. This is perfect. It's not... I don't know if I wouldn't say it's not perfect, because I can't right now think of how to improve that. But yeah, either way, love that we have quests now. It's awesome. Especially for like a first like casual player. It's great. And I think, don't quote me on that, I think the quest locations, when you have them, like when you got them, the game updates in the background and the locations are always the same. Meaning for speedrunners, it's gonna be clean, guys. I'm so ready for some speedruns. They might all already be out, but you know, I don't want to be spoiled yet. You know, I actually want to still play the game. I will not look at the comments of this video, by the way, for my own sanity. I know. So, I think I then got go back to the flies, because I think they said go find, you know, some of the flies. A lot of there's so much stuff is happening actually. This is just the first hour, by the way, of the game. So much is happening. To be fair, I am playing through the game fairly quickly, because I have actually recently played a Metroidvania, and I know kind of how to go through a Metroidvania now. After playing so many of them, loving the genre, not being actually that good at it at the beginning, but it's just like, go there, do this, go there, do this, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like, I'm really fast at Metroidvanias. Either way. Not to suck myself off, sorry, but it's like, you know, you just get used to how to play a Metroidvania. But to be fair, Silksong has a lot of twists and turns I wasn't expecting. And sometimes being a little bit too linear in my thinking also hurt my experience with Silksong, where, oh yeah, I could have probably looked in other ways, but I didn't. I didn't even expect to look at there. For example, I didn't find the bottom of the Bellhart. You're laughing right now. I didn't find the bottom of Bellhart for like... I don't even know how long. And like, I think I finished the game and then I found the bottom of Bellhart. I know, it's... Stop laughing. It was very well hidden. It wasn't well hidden. I just, you know, I didn't look. I was like, my brain was too linear. Go from A to B and don't look at anything else. It was a mistake. I love these shortcuts, by the way. I think there are lots and lots and lots of little shortcuts all over the place. And it's awesome how you unlock them. Either it's... like, you still have to sometimes look. I mean, this was pretty much on the path. But usually it's a bit more hidden. And I love that a lot because it incentivizes exploration, of course. Especially if it's not on the right, on the same path, right? You have to look a little bit and be like, oh, there is something. For example, I didn't know there was actually a shortcut for the blasted steps. I didn't see that one for the majority of the time. Literally yesterday, 20 hours in, I found it, and I was like, oh my god, this makes like the career stuff way easier. I already did the career stuff, right? They're like bringing stuff to other people. Anyways, you will find out. Either way, love that there's so many little things everywhere. I think I die here. Yeah, so I suck ass. We're gonna skip that. But yeah. Oh yeah, this is also a very weird place. So if you go, I think, all the way up to Marrow and then to the left, you come to this place right here. Where I then, because, you know, Pogo is not my strong suit in this game. It's kind of just weird. I think it's just more of a mental thing. And now I'm here, and I think you literally get just more rosaries, which is, to be fair, pretty sick. This is where I cheated, because, spoiler, the safe... the safe system, or whatever you call it, let's call it the safe system, works the same way like Hollow Knight. Yeah, this is awful. I don't know why they did this place. This is awful. So yeah, at this point I was thinking, okay, am I missing something? Let me look around, you know, let me hit some walls right now. So TLDR, you can just quit the game. And when you quit the game, you go back to the bench you were at. So yeah, I did this a few times. I'm sorry, you know, I'm a cheater, I know. But But I'm not gonna lose like 60 rosaries or something just cause. I'm not gonna do that at the beginning of the game when I barely have anything anyways. To be fair, you will have enough as time goes on, but yeah. I think I was still not fully understanding maybe the Crest. I mean, it makes sense that slotting stuff in, but how to upgrade it, I think that just didn't click. And to be honest, isn't that obvious. Either way, moving on ahead. Found the first flea. Awoo indeed. Can we get some awoos? Not oowoos, awoos. I love the fleas. The fleas are amazing. So, skipping a little bit ahead. And then I think also finding... Yeah, by the way, typical Hollow Knight, you can hit enemies through floors. Classic. Doesn't work all the time, by the way. But if it works, hell yeah. There's also no actually vertical ability that Hornet has, by the way. I just realized. You know, like the Knight had like this, the Scream effect. The Scream ability. The Abyss Shriek. That doesn't work. That is not a thing in Silksong. Interesting. So yeah, Grindel. By the way, Grindel has a shop. Spoiler. It's the best shop and you should go there. Go there. Find it. It's great for rosaries. Let me tell you right now. But yeah. Moving on from Grindel, I think you also get the pin, so it's actually the first range ability, I think, even. Well, technically, the Silk Spear is also range-ish, but this is like true range ability. So, this big guy, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think a lot of people said this is... The best way for him is actually to stay close, which a lot of people just, you know, walk away from him, and thus he's way more difficult because he either, I think, jumps at you like this. Oh no. Did I jump right now? Yeah, like this. So it's far more difficult. So staying close is, I think, preferred. Either way, I think I definitely died here. Did I? Oh no, I didn't. No, I think I tried him once before. Yeah, I tried him once before and died. See it right here. So yeah, I died once before. So this was the second try. I was like thinking, no way did I do this first try. It's like, this guy's insane. This guy's crazy. So yeah. Not the first try, obviously. So moving on ahead through Hunter's March, which, you know, more pogoing. I'm like, oh my god, please, for the love of God. To be fair, all these like fleas, if I remember their location in the future, I probably would do all of this at the end. Because with like future abilities and movement skills and all that, this is a billion times easier and faster. So there's really no reason to do this like right now, actually. I think right now I was also very aware of when I have enough silk to heal. So I used it right away when I have enough silk to heal, right? So instead of healing for 3 health, I also just like healed for 2. It's fine. Also, I love, by the way, that the ants just take stuff away. This is so good. I love it so much. It's like exactly what like a sequel should be, right? There's lots of these little systems and just things added to it. I love it. Like, I feel like Silksong is like one of, like, maybe Silksong is the perfect sequel. I didn't even think about that, but it might be. Because there's like so much better stuff, but it's also different enough for a sequel. Because you don't want the sequel to be literally the same, just more. Right? It's so good. All right, I'm gonna stop yapping and keep going through Hunter's March. I love that, by the way, Shakra helped here. I don't know if this is random. Please let me know in the comments down below that I might read. Oh no. I will definitely read in the future. Is Shakra helping everyone here? Or is this more like a noob help for when you took so much damage that Shakra spawns in his fight? I feel like this is... Shakra is always here, I think. And I love that, by the way. I love that NPCs, you know, come back and help you. And you could even hire NPCs for a boss fight, which I love a lot. I didn't do that, you know, but I love that there is a little bit of a noob help in the game without literally lowering the difficulty, right? Again, that's lowering difficulties usually just lower enemy health, and I hate that so much. That shouldn't be the case, in my opinion. But I understand why developers do it. So, skipping a little bit through Hunter's March, which I By the way, we're an hour 23 minutes in now. Yeah, I was struggling with the pogos at this point. I think it was also not meant to go up here, but I guess I just did because I was stubborn. Yeah. Did I actually go up here? I don't even know. No, I think I just gave up. So I just gave up. Skipping a bit ahead again. Unlock that. I think I pretty much unlocked most benches right away when I could. Just a brief look. So yeah, I took a hot take. I don't like most tools, like most red tools for weapon, right? Weapon tools or weapons in general. I don't like most of them. I pretty much ignored, I think, a lot of them. The one issue I also have is like upgrades, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So let's actually skip far ahead, because I think I just like pretty much went back to Bone Bottom, maybe did I think a few quests, unlock this, which is awesome. I love that there's like a horizontal way to like speed things up. I love that, especially at the beginning of the game. It feels good to have a quick way back to the main town. I think that's really good, like from a mental point of view, for a new player to like feel safe again. It's like, oh great, I can quickly go back to town. Okay, let me breathe again, right? Because this is a pretty dangerous world, right, that you go through. So I love that a lot, and there are pretty much no enemies, so you can just run through. I think we also unlocked Swift Step at some point. I don't even know where that was right now. For some reason, I didn't. Again, did I really not mark this? I'm sorry. I unlocked Swift Step at some point, and I have to say, Swift Step definitely got some. It's an instant feel-good moment, but it definitely took some time to, you know, get used to it, like the speed and the jumping and how Hornet moves. But it's a massive upside. It's a massive upside. So let's skip ahead, because we're 30 minutes into a 1 hour 40-minute recording. Goodness gracious. Sorry. Hornet. Sorry, Hornet. The other Hornet. No, I'm kidding. Lace. I loved hearing, I think it's actually her music right now, right? I'm actually not quite sure. Do they play her music here? Yes, it is. So yeah, I listened to Lace's music from Christopher Larkin on his YouTube for so many times. So hearing it in the game was like, ah, oh, we're here. We're here. We're finally here. So. God damn, it goes hard. Holy. Alright, I think, slight spoiler, as you realize, I don't really use tools, because I don't like the tools, so what I only have is literally my nail and me hitting the enemy. And trying to be a little bit more acrobatic in, like, the pogoing. Thankfully, again, it's fairly easy. That's such a brutal attack from her. I love it, though. Visually, it's so sick. Lamau, in the lava with you. That she doesn't burn in lava. I mean, you know, she is silk. Spoiler, sorry. So yeah, I think this was the first try even. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the first try against Lace. This was barely easy. I also, because, you know, I am me, I don't think I went down here. Did I? Yeah, I think I got Shakra, and then I didn't go down this path. I think I opened it, but I was like, nah, let me not do this right now. Which is usually what happened. I never took the... I usually didn't take... usually. A lot of times, I didn't take the bench, you know, right before the boss fight. So I had a long way back. Or sometimes I just, thankfully, did the boss in one try. But yeah, skipping past far fields, which was a really nice change of pace again, you know, from deep docks and lava area back to like a more, pretty much a mix of it. So it's like, I don't want to compare it, by the way, to Hollow Knight. Just like, oh my god, is this green path or something? No, it's like, it's a different game, it's a different thing. I don't want to do these comparisons. Of course, they learned what is good in Hollow Knight and want to, you know, improve upon it or reuse some of it. But either way, far fields it is. And, this is actually a jump down. This jump down right here that I just casually did, you can't go back up again. You are stuck in here now. which is kind of interesting. I think Super Metroid did this a lot of time, by the way, Robot. Or I think this is actually called the fourth chorus, I think is it called. I didn't even read the boss names, by the way, usually. Or maybe I forgot, right? Because they're like on the bottom right and white on top of a bright background or something. I'm like, I can't read. But it was also kind of focused on the big-ass boss that is going to attack me any second now. I did read it. Those enemies are pretty tough at the beginning of the game, I gotta say. Also, they have a lot of health. Like, this is one thing I kind of didn't like in Silksong, to be fair, right now, is how much health enemies, like basic enemies have, or how little damage I can actually... how little damage I deal. As in, please, give me damage. And you don't get damaged, as in nail damage, I mean, for a long time. I think that's on purpose, so you use tools. The problem is, for tools, I need the mother heckin' shards. Bro, I never had enough shards. It was impossible. So there's a little bit like a resource management issue, in my opinion. It solves itself, of course, as time goes on. But at the beginning, you're like, I can't do this. Like, I literally tried fighting a boss. I don't know which one it was again. We might find out later. And that boss, I think I tried him. No, I know what it is. It was in the high halls. We'll check that out later. So I did that boss many times. And I ran out of shards. So now either I farm shards again, or I have to like do this boss fight in difficult mode. So I started doing it in difficult mode to begin with, right? So I pretty much did most bosses with just nail. And that's it, usually. Because it was just like easier to focus also, right? It's like hit enemy, ignore everything else. That's usually what I like. As in, because a lot of variables kind of just mess me up in my, you know, in the acrobatic or choreography of a fight, right? Of a lot of dodging, attacking, using an ability. I'm like, you know, at this point, I'm just gonna dodge and attack, and that's it. Either way, that actually took me quite a lot longer to get, you know, the spine cores, which is hit the little spine thingies and hit their thing, as in the object itself, to spawn the spine core and bring it back to the seamstress to get the Drifter's Cloak now. Yeah, it took a little bit longer than I wanted to say, but I like that an object that the enemy shoots, you can hit and get something from it. That's actually a good quest system, because a lot of these quests are usually just find XPC, fetch quest, as in get me 25 of something, kill boss, you know? It's not like a revolutionary quest system, but it's different enough in a variety of ways all the time that it doesn't feel like time to do this again, right? It's like, it's always a bit different, and I like that a lot. Sure, finding 25 seared organs was a little bit painful, to be fair, in the future, but, you know, it's fine. If you know, you know. All right. The fourth chorus, of course. I think this was actually... Was this the first try? This was the first try. I think she just likes to yap the seamstress, because she knows a little bit more. I think she actually knows what's at the top of the citadel. By the way, highly recommend going back to older NPCs and talking to them, because they have a lot to say, let's say that. So this fight was surprisingly tough. As you can see, it took me 4 or 5 minutes of multiple tries. I think I died here once. Go back again, I think. Oh no, I think it was the second try. Maybe it was the second try. Oh yeah, I didn't understand this thing right here. This is something, I mean, I kind of understood, but I don't know if this is a one-shot. I feel like this could be a one-shot thing, as in, if you do this once, right in the second phase, he's dead. And I expected it to be, oh, it's gonna deal a lot of damage, but is it really gonna be worth the risk, right? That's what I thought. But I think it actually one-shots the boss, like from max health in second phase to dead, I think. So it's probably worth doing. So yeah. By the way, I love that Hornet looks like this. Like with the cloak, like it's just, it looks so good. Oh, I love it. Good. This was, of course, a little bit scary with the lava areas and all that. I don't know actually why. Oh yeah, I think I went back now because I realized, oh, there was something with the Drifter's Cloak, right? I actually should have been doing this at the beginning, like way earlier. This is a little bit nasty that it like has like explosions right there, and you can have to hit them. It's a bit weird, of course, but back and forth. This is a little bit scary here, of course. This is kind of insane if you think about. This was. You can actually hear the mask shard here. This was the very first mask shard I have found in 2 hours and 7 minutes. I don't know where you guys were at when you found your first mask shard, but this was the first one I found. 2 hours into a Metroidvania to get a health up, a piece of a health upgrade. Think about that. That's insane. So I was mentally prepared for a very different time than in Hollow Knight. To be fair, you can get another mask shard from, I think, the first shop, right? But it's also like, when the heck do you have, I think, 300 rosaries at the beginning? But I think people already figured out a way to farm rosaries at the start of the game, but yeah. So thankfully I had a little bit of rosaries left, and of course got the Bellways in far fields. Which, by the way, is if you go into far fields and go, up, right? You fly up, you can get to that. I think you can get there earlier if you do the pogoing, but I didn't. So I also got the Pilgrim Shawl, because it's the same enemy. Which, by the way, I appreciate that you can get some quest items, not from only one area. I like that a lot, because this one I think I got from farming some of these enemies near the Spine Core quest, right? Because they're the similar enemies. Like it's just the pilgrims and their shawl, like the clothing. One thing I'm kind of surprised. Anyone else? Shakra just disappears from Bone Bottom at some point. Was this for anyone else as well? I was like constantly like, hello, where are you? I need you right now. She's by the way in Bellhart. Spoiler. You can actually spawn her in Bellhart as well, but it took me like so long to find her again. I'm like, please, I need your markers. Speaking of markers, by the way, I didn't really use markers for a long time. I'm sorry. I think was definitely a mistake not using markers. But I didn't do that for a very long time, because I usually don't like manually placing stuff on a map. I don't know, I just don't like that system. I'm very boring and casual in, hey, I am in this room, just tell me what's in this room. Like, just automatically like put it on my map. Or the other way of thinking is, if my character sees an object or hears an object, right, then just like add it to the map automatically. That's at least my thinking. Different game design for different people. To be fair, I did later use the quest markers, especially now that I want to like get to 100% or get the true ending. You kind of need quest markers, because there are like a lot of areas that I just overlooked, forgot, doors to open. There's a lot left. So with this now, of course, I now go up far fields to Pilgrim's Rest. We find Sherma again. Beautiful thing. We're talking, you have to pay rosaries to get in here. I think I paid like 6 times already to get in here, just to see if there's something else. I also, I think, bought now everything in this. And this is one thing that, because it actually shows it right now. Tool pouch. Let you carry more tools and shards while on the road. So I didn't fully understand there are 2 upgrades for the tools. There is the crafting kit, and then there is a tool pouch. One increases the capacity, the tool pouch increases the capacity, and the crafting kit increases the damage. It actually shows it to you in... Actually, no, it doesn't really show it to you. It shows you how many upgrades you have, but not which item gave you the damage, right? I don't know if I actually briefly look into it right now. No, I think I don't even look at it right now. Either way, that was a little bit of a... Yeah, that took a little bit long for me to figure out how to get the damage. I wish... Because right now I think I spent all my things to buy this because I expected to deal more damage. Because again, until now, 2 hours and 15 minutes in, I needed more damage. I was praying for more damage. And then I read pouch capacity, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So, yeah, I understand why it's in the game this way, and I think it's good, because as a speedrunner, you can now either go for either or, and not both, right? It's also, for a game designer, probably easier to have two separate upgrades and have, you know, one upgrade here, one upgrade there. So it's easier to like spread upgrades around the world. Otherwise, you have to like make more upgrades for other things, which becomes difficult unless you have just like 17,000 rosary beads that you can throw everywhere, which is also boring at some point. So I understand. But God, do I wish it's just one item, right? It's like here you have more capacity and more damage. But it is how it is, and now knowing why it is that way, probably, sure, right, it's fine. And to be fair, a fully upgraded tool damage is pretty insane, with some tools, of course, but the tools I used so far is the Pimpillos, so the minions, pretty much, that you can spawn 4 of them. They are insane, bro. They are crazy. They're exactly how minions in a game should be. Aggressive, go to the enemy, let's heck and go. Perfect, it's awesome. Love that. Good. Greymoor. Greymoor? Greymoor, I think, is it. So, I went all the way up, of course, from Farfields into Greymoor. And, of course, I found New, you know, who likes to smooch a lot of people. This is, of course, now the Hunter's Journal in the game, which just pretty much is like a mini quest you can do in the background, right? As you kill enemies, you will upgrade that, so it's like a passive thing. It definitely took some time for me to get 100, though. I didn't actively do it, so if you don't actively do it, it actually will take some time. So there's that. Then, of course, we have this. Quite a difficult enemy, this one. Yeah, it's kind of snaking around, you know? I still, of course, had my diagonal pogo, so I was like, oh my god, please. And again, I was now 2 hours and 21 minutes in, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, give me damage. I need damage. Like nail damage. We're far away from nail damage, I'll tell you that right now. Back and forth, Chapel of the Reaper. Again, more of a little bit of a gauntlet, and I think I died here. Yes, yeah. I didn't do this one try. Either way, I think I went there again. Or maybe I went back later. Either way, let's just move on. There's so much in this game. Of course, I found Garmont and Zaza, which are, by the way, they can help you at the boss in the future, which we're gonna be there in a second. Skipping ahead back to the Reaper Crest. So I didn't fully understand how crests work. So it says attack with heavy arcing slashes and reap additional silk from enemies. This is probably what I should be using, to be fair, because it's reap additional silk. So TLDR for how crests work. They are they solve 2 issues, actually. Or they solve 1 issue and gives you something on top of that. They are pretty much charms from Hollow Knight fused into a loadout system. Think about this. It's a loadout system because you can switch loadouts and it saves which crest it is. If I would have understood it, because right now you realize I don't understand it. I'm like looking around and I'm like, what is this? So TLDR, it's the bottom left few crests. I didn't see this for the longest time. I truly didn't understand this. I was a dumbass. But yeah, it's a loadout system on top of charms from Hollow Knight, because this one gives you more silk if you hit an enemy, right? Which was previously a charm in Hollow Knight. Of course, I don't want to like constantly compare both games, but you know, they are still called Hollow Knight, both of them. So there's that. It's actually a great way to solve an issue that people had with the whole loadout charm system, right? Where you have to like, okay, let me unequip all my charms, let me equip the ones I need. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do something else. Let me unequip my charms, equip the ones I need, right? It was kind of annoying, but now you can have loadouts of like, oh, this is my damage build, and this is my Wanderer, my exploration build, for example, right? I only use the Wanderer build. So I live with this one, because it has more yellow slots. Anyways, so I didn't fully understand this right now. Also, until now, I think I also haven't found, I might be lying right now, but I think I haven't found, yeah, I haven't found a single memory locket yet. Think about this. I am 2 hours and 30 minutes into this game, and I haven't found a memory locket. I don't know what I have been doing. Probably not enough exploration. So, moving on to the Moorwing boss. This one took long. This one took me from 2:30. It took me 10 minutes of just trying. Roughly. I love this music, by the way. Hell yeah. Love that music. This was actually, I think, in the Xbox trailer they showed like a while ago. It's the same music. So yeah, this I may have underestimated them. I was yapping in the background there. I think I'm dead now. Oh yeah, contact damage is also 2. That is brutal, by the way. That is insane, actually. So yeah. Anyhow, I think this was my first death or second. I think it was my first one, my guess is. I think it's the first one. Either way, if you now find Garmon and Zaza at the bottom here, so they moved location, which, by the way, NPCs that move locations. Love it. Yes. This game is amazing. This is pretty much the noob help right now. It's like, hey, you suck ass, need some help? Nah, it's fine. I like that this is in the game. This is amazing for people that struggle with bosses, and there's an NPC that you found, that you interacted with, and now he offers you help. And they're also warriors, right? So it makes sense, right? If it would be some sort of like, hi, I'm a mate, I can help you. I'm like, can you really? I mean, you could heal you or something, right? But either way. So this took way longer than I want to agree with. So this attack is insane, by the way. Such an insane attack. Yeah, it hits twice, but it also like swirls around, so it like comes back at you. It's this boss is insane. I feel like this boss is like a step above everything else. I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Yeah, this was insane. Good. And with this, I love that, by the way, there's so many, like, those animations. I love that. I love that so much. By the way, stay hydrated, everyone. I didn't mention it so far. It's so good. That's what I was, like, hoping from Hollow Knight as well. More animations like this. And they did it. They did it again. You know, they improved upon something that was just so good in Hollow Knight. These animations. So, yeah, Bellhart. Haunted Bellhart for now. I'm gonna skip past that one, because there is not a lot to do. You can unlock, thankfully, your fast travel, you know, the doggy. Bless him. I love him. I think I saw the meme of, like, I have... What is the meme of? I have found this guy, and if something happens to him, I will kill everyone in this kingdom, and then myself. I love that meme so much. Yes, it's pretty accurate, indeed. So, again, I was still using the Reaper Crest now. Reason is it actually has the normal pogo. So that's why I was using it. I didn't like that it, like, has a upwards and downwards attack. It's like it comes from top and bottom. It feels sometimes like I should have hit the enemy, but the hitbox was not there yet. So it was like felt a little bit strange. Also, I just realized something. Hold up, give me a second. I just realized something that I didn't understand for the longest time. Hold up. Oh my god, I thought they came later. Sorry, those are enemies, by the way. Those right here. Those are enemies. If you hit them, they are like steel. They actually, I think, also appear in the mirror or something. I've never seen them or attacked them for like 20 hours in. Like, literally, it was insane. I completely ignored those are enemies. But I mean, they drop a lot of shards. So I like that they actually appear much earlier than I thought they did. because I thought that they appear later in the game, which, by the way, is also sick. I don't know if this actually happens in Silksong, where enemies change as you play through the game. I don't know that yet. I haven't, like, fully realized this yet. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Either way, we are now in Shellwood, which is right next to Bellhart. So, by the way, for if you want to keep up in, like, 53 minutes, because we're still so far away. Oh my god, this video is gonna be 18 hours long. So we went from Bone Bottom to the Marrow to Deep Docks to Farfields up to Greymoor to Bellhart to Shellwood now. Okay, so we pretty much made a U-turn, and I think this is kind of common for some. But I have seen people, for example, the speedrunner Monster Lair, who just completely skipped Greymoor, I think. I don't know how he did that. I don't know. And that's the beauty of Silksong. It is this open. It feels linear because I play it linearly, but I know it is. I 1000%. I knew it wasn't, because you sometimes have those bench signposts from two directions. And the reason why developers do that is because you could come from either or direction. So you need to show both players from both directions that there is a bench. So there's that. At least I think so. I mean, it would also make sense that in a city you would also see from both sides, where maybe, I don't know, like a local coffee shop is, right? Like an ad, right? It's probably at the beginning of the town and the other beginning of the town. So I guess, right? But still, I expect they did it this way because you can come from both sides. Good. With this out of the way, more... yeah, this enemy was goddamn insane, by the way. I think this enemy never appears again. I would actually like to see this enemy, like, way more times. I don't know, it's a bit similar to the whip guy in... No, it's different. It's different from the whip guy in Sinner's Road. You know, the big guy that also, like, does some sort of, like, a fist thrust attack. This is different. Similar, but different. I like this guy, but I think it only appears, like, once here, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, this is pretty much at the top of like, further to the left of Shellwood and up. I'm pretty sure I die here now. Yeah. Cause, you know, I'm a gamer, guys. Yeah, very good. I'm not gonna show that. That's just sad. So I found a Greyroot, which, weirdly enough, didn't really have a lot of, like, stuff going on right now. Only one quest, find purple whatever the heck, and that's it. I don't even know what I got for it. I don't even know. I also think this is one of the quests that I just did way later, because moving around here without wall jump or cling and all that jazz, it's kind of tough, right? So it's kind of more of a later thing. But yeah. And now, I'm an insane person that went into Wormways. 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 That's a weird way of saying it. Wormways. So yeah, I went in there like an absolute insane person. Keep in mind, I'm also the insane person that went in my first Hollow Knight playthrough to Deep Nest. You know, after Mantis Lord. That's me, by the way. Yes, I went into Deep Nest without a nail upgrade. It was insane. But you know, there are multiple ways to get into the city. And that's how I got into the city, actually. Good. Shakra, thank God she's here. Wormways doors. So, by the way, I sometimes usually gave those things names. So it's this door, needs a simple key. This is actually... I don't even know actually what it gives you right now. I think it was... you definitely can go to the Weavenest, but I think it also unlocks the Lifeblood-related quest there, so we're gonna skip past that one. That boss I did way later. Didn't really had a good like, loot at all, which is kind of a shame. And this is now where I kind of like, keep in mind, I went all the way around Greymoor, Bellhart, Shellwood, fought my way through that, etc. And now I realize I'm back at Bone Bottom. And I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, I just realized it right now, during playing the game. So yeah, this was goddamn insane. I was like, this is such a beautiful, like, That's how you make a Metroidvania map. I love it so much. So yeah, I'm back at Bone Bottom. This was an insane twist. By the way, I like that there's an elevator again to quickly go back up, so you can quickly go to where you were, ish. Technically, I still didn't have a wall cling, or you know the ability to like shoot your nail and pull yourself to it, the hook pretty much. I didn't have that yet. Either way, skipping, I think I still went back to Bone Bottom, just checking up on some stuff. I think I also wanted to get some. Quests. I think I also did some of these quests. Yeah, true. Now that you slowly unlock more quests, I looked around to get some of them done, because it is a big part of the game, so I really wanted to do that. One of those quests was, for example, the tracking quest, which is pretty sick. I like how it just appears visually. I think that's a really good way. I instantly went the wrong direction, so I'm very good at this game. But I like how the tracking quests work, so that's a really good thing. It's less of a, oh, it might be somewhere in this area, right? Like, oh, it might be in Bone Bottom or in the Marrow somewhere. And then it, like, that's it. Then you have to, like, walk through the entire area to find it. So I like that there are different tracking spots. That's really good. And it's also good that there are multiple tracking spots, because sometimes I found the second tracking spot, not the first one, because I think there are minimum always 3, I think. So sometimes they are a little bit, funny, where you now fell down and you go up again. So it's like, okay, they're still playing around a little bit with it, but still love that. And I think this goes to, right, I think it's those big enemies. They are pretty heckin' tough, I have to say. I think I wasn't prepared for something that has an attack, and then if you dodge the first attack, that attack then does something on top of that. So it's like mentally I wasn't prepared for that. So that was kind of a big surprise. But of course I did that whole quest, so we can move along. I think I still have a lot of, as you see, I still had a lot of maps. And this is where I started to really needed more, more things. As you see, I really wanted the Bellway pins, so I see the fast travel options, then the vendor pins, so I see actually where vendors are, because that's kind of important. So I was really struggling with rosaries right now. I think I still haven't died twice and lost my rosaries yet. I think that happens twice in 15 hours. It happened that I lose all my rosaries, right? So if you die twice, lose your cocoon has all the rosaries, so rip that. Good, moving on ahead a little bit more, so we find Gilly. I actually haven't found her, funny enough, until from that point onward. I haven't found her. I still wonder where. I know this because of Monster Lair, one of the speedrunners, that's Carmelita, I think. I really want to find this boss fight. I don't know where it is yet. Don't spoil them in the comments. I will find her. And if it's the last thing I do. So yeah. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen here? So we're gonna skip we're gonna go real fast now. So I found this guy at the top of Hunter's March, more or less, and to the left. I didn't go there at all, right? I could have after finding the cloak, but I didn't at all. I didn't backtrack a little bit, so I was just ignoring it. I think you might also be able to get here just with pogoing around. Either way, he has a few interesting items. So he has the Fractured Mask and the Curved Claw. Again, I wasn't a fan of the weapons. I completely ignored them. They always felt like, I needed shards. I never had shards. I also need to use shards for donations, which I wanted to do more, etc., etc. So I kind of ignored this guy. Which is not good, by the way. If you know, you know. Rest in peace. So, moving on ahead to, I think this is, the Chapel of the Beast. So, I didn't fully get this yet, because this is actually what I should have found at the first, right? It's the Chapel of the Beast, then the Chapel of the Reaper in Greymoor, I think, was it? So, those chapels are actually, part of, I think, Weavers, and they unlock the crest. So this one, for example, would give you the Beast crest. Mentally, I didn't put one and one together. Either way, this was a super annoying boss, and I died multiple times, and I think I went back I I think I went back twice, because it was a bit annoying getting back here, and this boss somehow just, I don't know why, it just didn't work for me. Like, yeah, exactly, because... My guy. Yeah, exactly. I have no idea. I was bad. Okay, maybe I went back a few more times, but yeah, at some point I was just like, yeah, never mind, I'm good, bro, and I just didn't do that. So, before going further into the game, because keep in mind I was in Shellwood and then Wormways, I'm actually this close getting into Blasted Steps, for example, I think, but I didn't do that yet. So I was backtracking a lot, as you can see, you know, doing some quests, filling out like a little bit more of the map. And for example, I found this space right here and I think I did more of, yeah, those side areas. I did this way later. Then I did this. And at the end, I think I found finally a spool fragment, right? I found this for the first time. Like, holy moly, this took like an ungodly amount. Like, keep in mind, I am now 3 hours and 42 minutes in, getting any upgrade to my character. Like, a spool fragment or a health upgrade. Or a mask upgrade, right? Like, think about this. This is insane. Either way, moving on ahead from this, I now went into this area. I think I died. I think I didn't die here. Just you know, was fine. I was clearly a little bit stronger than I should be now. Keep in mind, you know, I did like a lot of other stuff first and then came back to this area, so I was kind of like overpowering these enemies. But again, you know, this game is, it's still tough, right? It's still not easy. So, and this is actually the first time I found her. Think about this. I could have been here like about, I don't know, 2 hours ago. I didn't though, because again, I was like sometimes just going way past some enemies or just way past an area and didn't come back and forget about it. So either way, the thing is though, I was praying. I was like literally... So my thinking was, oh my god, hey, there she is. There's the forger, right? Great. Please upgrade my nail now. And I was thinking, I'm a dumbass. I could have had a stronger nail already, right? No, she doesn't upgrade your nail. And I was kind of mad. I was kind of mad. So she sells a weapon. Again, I don't care about weapons. Crafting kit, which I didn't understand makes the thing stronger yet. Keep in mind, I didn't understand how tools work. So I was a little bit annoyed because she was kind of useless to me. Sadly. To be fair, this one, I actually don't know what this is called, like this one right here, is pretty good. This is a pretty good weapon, and the way it works is also great. Like, you can throw it and wait until an enemy comes into it, and then it activates. So it doesn't, like, instantly activate. So it's like there's a little bit of, like, a logic behind it, which I appreciate. It makes it, like, foolproof, which is perfect for me. So yeah, skipping ahead past all of this now. I think I went back to him, checked just what he has. I also, of course, there's the you know, the door at the right here. I still haven't opened that one. I do not know how to open this. I don't know yet. I assume it's something about the supplies, potentially. But who knows? I'll find out at some point in the future. Don't spoil them in the comments. It's fine. So, now, funny enough, in Greymoor, if you actually go to the right, which I didn't do at all, you find Shakra. This is actually an incredibly important part of the game, because all the way after a bunch of fights, you actually finally find another one of these. So it's one of these, I guess, not a Weaver Den, I guess, you know. Think of Hollow Knight right now. But either way, this is another upgrade, which I think, was it the hook? No, it's the Threat Storm, right? So I didn't have this one for a long time. Could have had it, for example. Might have been really helpful to some bosses. For example, the Greymoor boss, right? Or Wingmoor, I think is the boss called. So could have been helpful, but I didn't know, you know. Didn't explore to the right of Greymoor, so I ignored that part. So, Now I also have of course, with the Drifter's Cloak, you can go up, but you can't go down again. Keep that in mind. Like, you can't go the other way around, unless you maybe... you can go back if you poke on the enemies, to be fair. So, that's pretty much what I did. I like that, you know, like, little, again, you unlock these shortcuts. Love that a lot. Another bell, which is just pretty much a free bench. So unlocks that. I'm not even quite sure why you need the bells. It could actually be a long-term thing that I don't know yet. Like, you need to find all the bells for something. I don't know. We'll find out. Another shortcut. Love that a lot. Then I think I went into the water to the right. It's a bone scroll. So it's one of these relics that you can give someone. In the future, I now had 2 of them. Just didn't know what to do. I also found 1 memory locket. But again, I didn't know what they do, because it didn't really make sense yet. On the other side, I was also not really happy with the crest I had. Because keep in mind, a memory locket can only be used once on 1 crest. So that's kind of a shame, but I understand why they did it. So I bought a drink just cause, you know, for the fun of it. Then 4 hours in now, I think I was kind of looking around and wondering, where the hell do I go here? Still kind of wondering, kind of a little bit confused. I still didn't have like the Shellwood map yet. I think I might have just bought it right here. But yeah, let's skip ahead even more. It crashed. So after Shellwood and Bellhart and Greymoor and all that and backtracking, I went back to the Fleamaster, which, by the way, that's such a cute moment. I love this. That's just the Hollow Knight goodness, you know? I love it. It's beautiful. So yeah, it's also kind of sick. Again, I love when NPCs move. And they move now from from the Marrow, I think, up to Greymoor, which is just like sick. And they pretty much, I think, are in the spot where the boss was. And this happens again, by the way, which, I mean, you probably know it, but it's just, I love that. I love that so much. And you can actually move with them. So you don't have to, like, it's pretty much a free fast travel at that point. With a really cute scene in between, you know, with the fleas that you saved. So, I love that a lot. Good. Moving on ahead, I think I now unlocked Shellwood, so I think I explored more of Shellwood at this point. Just finding a few spots. I think dying, I guess, even once, question mark. Oh yeah, I think I also found this one here, which is, I think, the 3rd one, correct? Yes, this is the 3rd mask shard. In 4 hours and 26 minutes, still not 1 health more. Of course, the way back is kind of crazy. And here, of course, is the Shellwood boss. This was actually Sister Splinter. Forgot actually her name. This was one of the first bosses that took a few more tries again. You know? This was... I think it was even more difficult than the Greymoor boss. I don't know, like, it was something about her. As you can see, I now use the weapon, actually, just to deal a little bit more damage to potentially burst her down. But the problem is, if you do that, and if you also suck ass, this took, like, a lot of time. Like, it took 10 minutes, 10 plus minutes or something along those lines. Is it right here? This is, I think, a new spot. I took a little bit less than 10 minutes, you know, but still. That's actually it's literally exactly 10 minutes. So multiple tries. I think it was like 3, 4, 5 tries, something along those lines. 2 things, though. I also then used, instead of the tool, I also used the upgrade, you know, the drink now, which you unlocked when you move with the Fleamaster. So you can, I think, spend 30 rosaries to get 30 charges of like a bottle that gives you increased, I think it was increased attack speed and movement speed, I think. Pretty cool, because that's exactly what would help me, right? As someone who just wants to quickly slash with the nail, it's pretty much a better speed nail charm, right, that we had in Hollow Knight. But it's not forever, right? It's only when you drink the thing and temporarily, but still. I somehow just... Like, it's good, But at that point, you can also just have like a tool that does more damage. And it's like, I don't know, like, I think it's good that it's there. And I'm sure if you're really good at like moving around your character, it's probably really powerful. But at that point, it just didn't really feel good enough for me to use. Either way, after killing that boss, finally, another one. I think this is actually an upgrade now, if I'm correct. But I'm not quite sure. Is it this? Yeah, it's a cling grip, right. So that's finally one of a major ability, of course. It's finally having the being able to wall jump or cling to walls. So you can... I actually love wall jumps when you can just jump on them multiple times. I love that a lot more. I think a lot of Metroidvanias don't like doing that because it can, you know... you can very likely skip some areas. It's also probably for a game designer very difficult to then make the world explorable without like being able to just cheat your way through to maybe a final boss or something. But you know, I love skips in games. So yeah, that was definitely worth the hassle with the sister Splinter, that's for sure. I think I then went back to maybe a little bit of Bellhart, because I was still wondering, keep in mind, it's still haunted. I was like, what am I missing here? Like, how can I, like, how do I do this in Bellhart, right? Like, what do I do here? I think I didn't understand this for a very long time. Then in Shellwood, I finally activated that bell, which, of course, is finally, thankfully, a free thing. And now I was, of course, in... I think I then went all the way to the left from Shellwood and all the way into Blasted Steps. By the way, love that the bridge is just being held up by, like, giant chains. I love that a lot. So yeah, this was starting to look like a little bit of a different area. Also, I like these little lore spots, you know, and gives you a little bit more of the world of what you're actually doing, because it's a pilgrimage, right? Going up to the Citadel. And yeah, this was kind of a little bit of a shock of like, oh boy, here we are now. This is like, I think, so scared of this area that I think I went back now. Yeah, pretty much went back. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good, bro. Because it is very scary. Like, Blasted Steps is like a step in difficulty. Not like enemy-wise, but more like just area-wise. It feels like you can fall constantly. It's enemies deal, of course, a lot of damage and all that. I also like that here right now, if you go all the way to the left, she actually says, these sands mark the edge of Farloom's territory. I was brought to this land through the caverns beyond. I actually like that she says that she came from this direction, right? Something at this kingdom's height still hungers for me. Were I to flee now, I would again be pursued. By the way, she says something else. If you went up to the top of the Citadel right before the final boss and go back here, she says something different. So I like that there are different dialogues depending on like how far you are in the game. This is beautiful. So yeah, until I find the source of the hunger. Kind of interesting. But I think at the end, I still go through... Actually, I'm not quite sure where I am right here. Oh, I think I know where I am right now. So in Shellwood, I think there's, or right after Blasted Steps, I think you can go up or something. Which is kind of also the way you go to do all the courier stuff. So I think I then, like, I put 1 and 1 together of like, oh yeah, I have wall jump now, right? I completely forgot I have wall jump at this point, because after hours of not finding a new ability, I now had a new ability. So as Metroidvanias go, you should go back to old areas, you know, and like look around a little bit. Also, these enemies can suck it. But yeah, I didn't put 1 and 1 together there, to be fair. Oh yeah, I'm here now. So yeah, skipping a little bit ahead here. I think it's just this, yeah, it's just frayed rosary string. That actually is like such a bra moment, to be honest, finding like those tiny little rosary strings. I guess, you know, of course, you can't have like massive rosary strings because it's like, what died here, a king or something? It's like, also wouldn't make sense, right? Either way, I think this was, I think you get a mossberry here, right? Was this the mossberry area? Oh, no, it's a flea area, right? Okay, yeah. Either way, skipping all ahead of this. So I went back to, I think, Bone Bottom, checked a few locations, went back to Deep Docks, I think. Hated these enemies right here. I think I even died Lamau. Yep, I definitely died there. Kind of underestimated them. What was this? Oh yeah, I think this was the... Wasn't this? Yeah, this was this creature, right? This was this enemy. So I think I went back and forth, you know, just to save, just to be sure. Again, I didn't use any tools here because I felt like it's just messing me up. Even the abilities, like the ability I just used is probably the worst option you could use. So I brute forced my way through this for like 3 minutes or something. And just, you know, whacked the enemy. I don't know if I died. No, I didn't die. So I did this first try. It's not the most difficult fight, of course, but yeah, I just pretty much brute forced my way. Yeah, the crown fragment is one of the quest items. Yes, it's one of the wishes. So yeah. And I think right now I was like, yo, I have the money. Just give me a health upgrade, right? At this point, I was like, just this is more important than a map, than pins. Just give me health. So this was the very first health I got in 5 hours of this video game. And to be fair, that one health upgrade didn't make a single difference. I felt no change because enemies do 2 damage anyways, right? So it's now, so instead of, because I think you start with 5, so you get 2 hits and then you die. But now I have 6 health, so if I get 2 hits and then another hit, I die also. So 6 health really doesn't matter when enemies do 2 damage, right? Usually, not all of them, but it's like in certain fights, it really didn't make a difference. So, skipping ahead, you might be laughing right now. Hey Daniel, you haven't mentioned the Moss Druid. You know why? Because I wasn't there yet. Yes, it's literally at the beginning of the game. And I didn't go to the Moss Druid in 5 hours and 8 minutes of this video game. So that's what I mean with everyone goes through this game in so different ways, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm guessing, I don't know. Maybe I'm just really weird, missing, you know, the Forged Daughter, the Moss Druid, some of the major characters, kind of. Anyways, Moss Druid. She actually needs the moss berries, and I actually had, I think, all the moss berries right away, fun enough. I had all of them ready to go. Boom, instantly finished it. And she gives you, I feel like some of the, a better thing, the Druid's Eye. So as the bearer takes damage, the amulet weeps a green elixir that will form into silk. So it's kind of like similar to the, I know it, I don't want to compare it constantly with the Hollow Knight, but it's the grub one, right? Where you take damage and you get silk back. Previously soul, of course, right now. Silk makes more sense for Hornet. Anyways, so pretty good one. I think even better than the bell. I think I used this one instead of the bell. The bell is nice, but the problem is the bell doesn't really save you. It saves you from taking damage and dying or something while you're healing, but you still lose the silk when you get hit during healing. You lose all of it. I feel like that's a bit aggressive in my opinion. I would understand if it's like you lose half of the silk, but all of it is kind of insane. And at that point, I think I stopped using the bell because it's like if I die now or try to heal, get hit, can't heal, but I still live, doesn't matter. I don't have silk. So the next attack I die anyway. So it doesn't really matter. I feel like this is kind of like, this kind of needs to be buffed to be actually better. Either way, moving past this one, this was a really nice, actually, surprise right here of suddenly... Oops, now I went full screen mode. Maybe I should have done this to begin with the full screen mode. Sorry. Sorry, I was offline there for a second. I think no, you know... Never mind. I had a monitor issue at this point. Don't worry about it. So, or did I? Hold up. Anyway, this moment right here, sick moment, love that, that this thing just came in. And I think this is a trigger because you killed the other Skull Tyrant, right? So it's like, its brother or whatever comes in and it's like, okay, I'm gonna F you up now, something. I love that so much. It's a beautiful thing. Because you wouldn't expect in a town... Like, you wouldn't expect in a town this happens, right? And I love that it does. It's sick. It's absolutely amazing. Again, takes a long fight, because, you know, I don't do any tools and all that jazz. So, that is a pretty good look at my map right now. I'm actually going to get you a brief look at the map I had right now, right? So, you of course had Bellhart, which is still open, because I didn't do anything here yet. But as you can see, this is pretty much what I did in about 5 hours. Some people were already probably higher or blasted steps, but, you know, I was scared. But I think soon after this, I think I went into blasted steps. Yes, so this is roughly when I then just said, I have to do this now, right? I have to go into blasted steps. I have to, like, push on. This is going to be tough. This is going to be difficult. And it was actually really, really, really rough. That was the problem. I had no rosaries. I had 26 rosaries to my name, and I had no saved rosaries. It might have actually been that I died here at some point twice, so I lost all my rosaries. So I had like maybe 100, which would have saved me now. So, yeah. This was now really bad. I couldn't get the health point at the top of blasted steps. I couldn't get the safe travel. But I'm up here now. Please, for the love of God, don't let me die here. So yeah, this was a pretty intense moment here now. I found Lumble the Lucky. I don't know what this guy does. I have played a little bit briefly with him, where you just, you know, gamble with your rosaries. It was kind of fun. I like those animations, right, where you just throw stuff and it, like, comes back together, because it's like the magnetite rouge or whatever. It's similar to that, right? It's that, how do you say that rock thing that is magnetic in this world, you know, so it makes sense why it's used as like a little play. Anyways, he absolutely screws me over hard and yoinks money from me, so I stopped doing this. I think, yeah, long term, sadly, as it sadly happens, I died. I died at the top of blasted steps after working my way up there for the first time, and yeah, here I had to go there again. And it's funny how this felt like my Mount Everest. Believe me, there is another Mount Everest that you have to do. This is pussy baby stuff at some point. But I love in this game how, with slightly better movement, of course, right? But just becoming better with Hornet, moving Hornet. And just understanding the environment better. It's an incredible thing how good you become at this game without actual, just pure upgrades. It's a beautiful thing. Because I now went through this area like it's nothing now. 20 hours in, right? It's literally nothing anymore to me. I just went through this with maybe being a little bit aware, warning, blasted steps, be a bit more aware. But this is just like, I'm chilling now at this point. So... not right here, but, you know, 20 hours in, you're just chilling in this area, kind of. And it's a beautiful thing. I love that. Anyways, this is, I think, those are the... aren't those the bosses right here? I think those were the bosses, technically, to the left. Funny enough, I highly recommend going... Hold up, sorry. This area right here, where they are... I think I actually went back. Yeah, I noticed this is actual boss arena, so I yoinked myself away. Anyways, highly recommend actually doing this boss fight after you get the save point, and then going further to the left. I didn't for 20 hours. So, yeah. That was a mistake. Again, because I didn't have pins, so I couldn't, like, remember it on the map itself. A mistake. A mistake I made. Anyways... I think I now got finally the save point, and then I went back here and did this fight. I think I did this actually first try. This was a cool fight. The Threat Storm also works really well here, I think. I think it works really well because you can just be in the air, right? And they pause briefly, so it works really well, the Threat Storm ability right here. Anyways, I like also how they, like, speed up. I love that a lot. It's just Again, I love the Mantis Lords because it's like two enemies in one, or in one boss fight, and I love this combination, or this dynamic. So yeah, the second one leaves. I haven't found the second one yet. Who knows where it is? So yeah, I don't know why. I think I was just, again, blasted steps, first time. I was really scared of this area. And I think I was like, bro, like standing there, I couldn't even see the next platform. I'm like, oh my god! Like, I was like, nah, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. And I think I've never went back here ever again. Well, ever again, as in, like, in 20 hours. Look, I nearly died again. And I was like, you know what? This is not worth it. Let me just get out of here, right? I think this is pretty much where I said, never mind. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, you know, the sandstorm. I'm like, oh my god, please, for the love of God, get me out of here. So yeah, I think I just, you know, ran back and skipped this part for now. So finally, after working my way up to the gate, of course, one is missing. Classic. I was like, of course, it can't be that easy, right? So Bellhart it is. So I had to go to Bellhart and figure that one out. And in Bellhart, I'm skipping ahead a lot now. We gotta get going, boys. This is still, by the way, the first day. This is still the first recording. Like, this is what I haven't gone to bed yet. And I think it's like close to 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. now. Anyways, the Widow. Really cool boss fight. Very different. This is like one of those boss fights of like from the Greymoor boss to, by the way, Precious Child of Worm. I was like, oh my god, lore, let's freaking go. She knows. I love that a lot. Play the first game if you want to know more about that. I'm sure Mossbag is eating well playing this game. He's like, oh yeah, more lore. So yeah, the Widow, or Widow, very different boss fight now. And very cool. Very cool. But boy, was it tough. It was so heckin' tough now. I think it was also tougher because I probably could have had another ability here, like the you know, the I don't know, what is it? The nail sling, whatever it's called, right? Where you pull yourself. I don't know if I can actually have it already. I don't even know where most of the abilities were again. I'm like, after 20 hours of Songclave, my brain is like fried. Anyways, the cool part in Shellwood, you have this bench right here, but you can then go all the way around and back to this bench again. So this bench is pretty much a safe spot for not only the sister Splinter boss, but also for the Widow boss, which is a great way to, like, reuse an area again, right, in game development. I love that a lot. So yeah, the Widow took a long time, as you can see. A long time, as you can see. It took me from meeting her at 6 hours and 2 seconds in, to 6 hours and 19. It took some time. It took many tries. Also like that you bind her pretty much. That was such an aggressive thing for Hornet, by the way. I was like, holy heck, I have to like triple bind it, like press it again and again. And I was like, holy moly, bro, this is like absolute cinema right here. Is this the... Yeah, this is the needle in Ancestral Art. Interesting that it's called Ancestral Art. As someone who just recently played a game where Ancestral Arts are a thing, this was like, what? So yeah, now pretty much the melody of melody thing, which is... I was a little bit like, oh my god, are we going animal well route right now? To be fair, I made a video on why I didn't like Animal Well, and it's more like that I don't like that... Okay, it's a good design, of course, in Metroidvanias, when a thing can do multiple things. But the needle in is literally just a Lamau use it somewhere to unlock something, maybe. That it's pretty much just like... I guess fine, right? Still, it makes sense, also lore-wise, that you need silk and play a song to open these areas, these weave nests in the world, right? Also love that you can actually see the weavers like just crawling away. I was like, oh yeah, dude, more lore, please. So yeah, beautiful moment, of course. And I was like slowly going through here, just appreciating this area, because you usually wouldn't see this again, of course. So it's a beautiful moment. But this also now unlocks all the weave nests, or at least when you can get to a weave nest. And I think those are multiple weavers. So I'm not 100% sure what's the lore right now. This big-ass white light reminds me strongly of the Radiance. I don't know. Spoiler-wise, I have no idea yet. I haven't seen the true ending, right? But for her light, eternal our song sustains. Her light, the Radiance was a she. So, who knows? Love it. I'm eating well. I was eating really well lore-wise. So, yeah. Now that, of course, this can now be rung, and I think this is... I don't know if you actually find the bell itself. I think you found the bell itself. Or is it more like... Oh no, you have to ring those bells that the door opened. My bad, I didn't actually fully understand this yet. Okay, I think now I understand. You need to ring them to open the door. I always thought it's like an object that you have to bring back. I'm actually not quite sure, you know? This game is so complex, I'm sorry. Anyways, Bellhart is back. Let's go. So now you have another vendor, which is sick. You also have new quests that you can accept here, you know, with the new board. So, was really nice. Was like because I went back multiple times to Bone Bottom, did some quests there. A Pilgrim's Rest, which is completely worthless, sadly, at least to me. I'm sure there is some crazy stuff there. But this was like, okay, perfect. We got another town, not at the bottom of the world, kind of more at like the medium. And, you know, it sells some new stuff. I think there's actually shop upgrades when you find... I think one of the wishes is to the missing courier, right? So you find that guy. You actually find 2 couriers, right? So it was like, okay, there's like a nice lift up, right? In terms of after blasted steps, dying over there, having to go through it again. This really tough boss, this took like 15 minutes or something, or 19 or something. It was like, okay, sweet. Bellhart, let's go. Then Sherma is actually back at the top of Bellhart. Sorry, of the blasted steps. Then, of course, now having unlocked all the, or having rang all the bells. And now playing the needle in, because those are harps. Beautiful. But, of course, this can't be the end. I love that. I love that voice, by the way. The last judge. Holy heck. Goodness gracious. She was something else. I think at this point I was definitely struggling. By the way, of course I died here. I think this was... Yeah, I think this was... I don't even know actually what killed me first. I think it's just like I underestimated her damage, right? She does so much damage. She moves pretty like quickly. I don't even know if I finished her here. Thankfully, I can see where my achievements are. I don't even know if I finished her today. Did I finish her here? I don't think I did finish. Because after trying it so many times, right? Like trying... I don't know, for like five-ish minutes, I was like, okay, God, there's a second phase and all that. I actually now started to explore Bellhart. I completely forgot there are 2 areas at the top of Bellhart I didn't even look at for the past... What was it? Like, I unlocked it 6:23, and it's now 6:42. So for 20 minutes, I didn't even look at them. I completely forgot about that again. I didn't look. And I was very happy finding Pliny. Sorry. Pliny, I think, is it? The Pinmaster. Which finally, after an ungodly amount of time in this game, 6 hours and 43 minutes in, I love this animation, by the way. It's beautiful. Always funny. A nail upgrade. I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, finally we're here. We have done it. This was rough. This was really rough. I was finally ready. Problem is, I felt no difference in my nail damage. Because the problem was, I think a lot of enemies still have like, they require like 4, 5, 6 hits. That one hit less doesn't feel as impactful as in Hollow Knight, where an enemy, instead of having 3 hits, dealing only 2. You know, that's kind of the problem of like nail damage, where if the enemy already starts with like so many hits, like you need to hit him so many times, you need an X amount of upgrade as well to even feel that. So yeah, but I was really glad that there is now a wish to bring him oil. So now I know I need to get oil, like an object, to further upgrade my nail. And I was like, let's freaking go. So now I actually have like an active thing in the background. 1, to upgrade my nail, which I always want. Like, just give me more damage. And 2, also a way to, well, get more damage in general, but also prepare myself for the last judge, where I was currently stuck at. Right? This was my judge right now, to actually get in there. Problem was, as you can see right here, and I was like, oh my god, please, for the love of God, why would you do this video game? Retrieve pale oil from the Citadel. And I was like, no. So yeah, you have to actually go into the Citadel to upgrade my nail further. So this is like pretty much, you cannot further upgrade your nail until I beat the last judge. There is no other way. So I just had to accept that. It do be like this, sadly. Well. I think at this point I was now exploring the... Right, I was doing the Silver Bells quest, which, by the way, again, I never found for a very long time. I found the bottom of Bellhart. I am blind. It's, by the way, all the way to the right of the fast travel, if you didn't know. It's super obvious. It's a breakable wall. I just didn't see it. Again, that's what I mean with, at the beginning of the video, or this video, sorry, is the game is pretty gosh darn dark sometimes, so I might need to, like, lift the brightness next time, or highly recommend to probably lift the brightness by, like, 0.5, whatever is possible, just so you can actually see some stuff, because it's very dark, this game. I mean, look at it. 40% of the screen is just black. And the other is faded out, so yeah, it's very dark. Anyhow, moving on, because there's a lot still left to do. I think that's the last, the curry I found. I like that this is actually happening, where they, like, sing for this pilgrim, and then I think they just, like, throw him down. Yeah, he's literally at the bottom where you started the game, by the way. His corpse is down there. What in the hell is happening? It's like, it's so weird. Yeah, this... I love these moments. I love these moments so much. I think the chapel maid also had a few things to say. And now I think now it triggered. Oh, wait a second. I have the needle in. I remember this place now. Or maybe I looked at the map. Because in the map, you can actually see, like, a door-like symbol and 2 eyes or 2 dots. So, this was huge. First of all, visually sick. Weavenest, this is, like, very specific to weavers here. Also, sick AF animation. I loved it a lot. So I went to the left side. And I think I went really far to the left. So far to the left that there are 2 more of these guys. And I died. So that was that. But even more important is what if you go to the right. Because that's where actually the interesting part is. It's Ava. What the heck is Ava? I have... I think she says she's, like, not a real weaver. I think she's might be similar to Lace, potentially. I don't know. Super interesting. Lore-wise, love it. I'm not gonna harp on this. Still, TLDR is... this is incredibly good. As you further hone your skills, I guess, she gives you a permanent Vesticrest. Meaning, you have your crest, and you can, like, put things in it. But on the left side of that, you get an another crest that you can put stuff in. That is separate from your main crest. So you literally get another free slot of stuff to put in. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I don't know if actually... Yeah, there... Oh no, she gives you actually the Hunter crest as well. Or evolved the crest of Hunter, so yeah. So I guess this was the very first crest. I also sadly don't know how to upgrade this further. Like, when is the trigger when you can actually go to her? I don't know. It's after many hours, I always went back and checked up on her, and it upgraded itself. I have a feeling it might be linked to the Silk card. Maybe. I don't know. Either way. So I think I died here again. Lamau. So, this is, I think, was this when I... Yes, this is actually when it suddenly clicked for me, guys. We are now in 7 hours into the game. I have now clicked change crest. Think about this. 7 hours in. This is like, I feel like this is the biggest noob trap in this entire video game, and I feel like they need a better tutorial for this, that you can change freaking crests, because it's a major part of this video game. So, I have now figured out that you can use memory lockets, of course, to upgrade this. But I now realized these memory lockets are permanent to the crest you used it on. So if you now find a new crest, like the beast one that I still don't have, right? But I could go back and get it now. I am screwed. Yeah, it's difficult to change crests. I tell you that right now. Like, if you found that one crest and then you find a better crest, you are screwed. It's... Boy, is it tough. It's not like an easy thing. Now, of course, as you play more and more and find more upgrades and more rosaries and more memory lockets and all, it doesn't become an issue anymore, right? Yeah, so I just realized it. Yeah, this was a little bit tough. To be fair, the Hunter is still not my thing, right? Because it's not the normal pogo, it's the diagonal pogo that I don't want anyways. But I just realized what this is, this whole system. Again, it solves the loadout issue, and it actually is like a charm inside a loadout system. So it actually gives you power potentially that you want, right? Build focus with successive strikes. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird, I give you that. It's different. But again, that's the good part about a sequel, right? It should be different in ways. And I think long-term, the crest system is definitely a plus. It's just, at first, you have to understand what it is, and I didn't. And it was a little bit like, oh my god, like, I used all my memory lockets, potentially on the wrong one. I definitely used it on the wrong one, because this is not even the one I like. So, there's that. Anyhow, kill those, and you get the Weave Light, which just is Silk Regeneration. It's pretty neat, and I think I used it in some locations where you need to do some more platforming. If you know, you know. It's pretty helpful. It's pretty helpful. But it's also, sadly, it says emits a light glow or something. I didn't realize a major difference in terms of actual glowing. I wish it would, like, be illuminating the entire screen or something. God, I wish. Then I would constantly use it, because then I can actually see the video game, because it's, again, fairly dark. 7 hours in, I am now done with the very first day. I think it was 2 in the morning. I now had 6 hours, 35 minutes, but we're not even, I think, halfway to the final boss. So, let's quickly go through the second part. Now, of course, I now kind of looked through, you know, this entire area because I was already here. But I quickly went out of this and found like a few areas that I kind of ignored. So I looked pretty much at the map of where could I go, and also remembered I have double jump, sorry, not double jump, yet, wall jump, of course, right? So I realized, oh, wait a second, I can now go up to this area, find a few things potentially, and being a little bit stronger now with a nail upgrade, potentially using clearly 2 tools now, which I sometimes use, to be fair. You know, find another memory locket, so that's pretty neat. And I was like starting to, now 7 hours into this entire video game, right? I was like starting to just not really get it, but I was starting to feel comfortable, right? It's like I'm starting to, in a weird way, I was starting to become part of this world. You know what I mean? Like, you live with it. I don't know. It's just like, it's a beautiful thing, actually. It says a lot that how good this game really is when you start getting comfortable with a world. Of course, I went through this now multiple times, so you start getting more comfortable. But yeah, skipping ahead, doing I think a few side quests, going through Hunter's March again. I think I found another empty area in Hunter's March, like to the left, I think. Found this now. Of course, instantly died, Lamau. Classic, obviously. But at this area here, right, I also couldn't go up here because I didn't have, I think, the wall jump. So there are these guys, which I think are actually from the Slab area. If you know, you know. I think they're from the Slab. Or Mercenaries Road. No, I think it is Slab. It is Slab. But yeah, it pretty much shows that there are enemies that put other enemies into cages. So, kind of interesting. Like, it would make sense, right? You need certain people that are big enough to, like, catch other prey, for example. So, it's like, it's good world building, I would say, having, like, those enemies. So, anyways. So, moving on ahead, killing this guy. And I think... I actually don't even know what you get after this. Oh yeah, it's just rosaries, which is, by the way, great, because at this point I really wanted a lot of rosaries to buy a lot of stuff. So more is never a bad idea, to be fair. But to be honest, like 200 rosaries is literally nothing later in the game, which is kind of funny. But right now, pretty good, pretty good. So, I think I've now started to do... Oh yeah, true, it's like kill X enemies to get the rag pelt, so I did that. I'm not quite sure, I think I then went back to him, so yeah, this was pretty much just the quest that I did after this. You know, doing a little bit of cleanup, you know, doing a bit of cleanup right now. So now that I also found the courier, I now went back to her and found, you know, she has, like, new stuff, like a spool fragment, which is sick, the memory locket was already there, and to be honest, the best heckin' item is the Multibinder. It costs a lot, but this lives in my character now. This, plus another tool that makes the binding faster, beautiful. It's perfect. Like, I will out-heal the boss so fast, you can't even see him. It's beautiful. So anyways, highly recommend using this if you need some sort of like easy way, like easier mode like this, plus another tool to heal faster. Is boss fights become more manageable. It's not easy, right? Because you don't take less damage, but you heal more and as fast as usual-ish, I think. I think it's actually still faster. Either way, it's great. Don't want to like fully spoil it, but yeah. Good. Then Doggy, I guess, who knows? Oh yeah, I think I went now through the bottom area of this. And the cool part is, you actually go back to the Bellway from the other way around, right? It's such a cool thing, and I love that in this game it's like things are linked together like this. I don't even actually know how to get there. I think it was just further to the right here, and then you go all the way around. Oh yeah, I looked into this room briefly, saw this trap, and I was like, never mind, let me go to the left. This was, I think, when I fought the Greymoor boss, like, X hours ago. So it has been some time now. Also, I still tried to remember I have the needle in. And this is a harp of some sort. So you do unlock lore here. So you gotta keep your eyes open a little bit, which I love, you know. Sister Spider, husk bound to branch, watch over these bugs, passing safe, warded by fear, no longer your meal. So, a little bit more lore there. Love that. Gotta keep your eyes open for anything harp related or any strings that resemble music. I'm sure I missed many of them. So, yeah. Went through Shellwood again. I think I tried to partially do her quests, and I think did I just finish it? Oh yeah, I think I just finished it. Yeah, I thought I finished it way later, but I mean, keep in mind I got this quest like 6 hours ago or something, or 5 at least. So yeah, finally did it. And again, the reason why I did it, I think now and not before, is because if you have wall jumped, it's a lot faster, right? It's a lot easier to move around in Shellwood, because it makes sense that Shellwood kind of wants you to have wall jump, because you get it right after that Shellwood boss, right after Sister Splinter. The polyp pouch pretty much applies venom to equip tools. Very cool, because this also works on the flask right now. If you drink it, you get you speed up, right? So it actually is pretty cool how it works, right? You can actually see when you equip it, like it gets purple. I love that a lot. I love that it's like a visual thing in Hollow Knight as well, but also in Silksong, that you need to see these things, and I love that it is, because in a lot of games it's just like you equip something and nothing really changes, you know, but here it does. For example, Path of Exile 2 also does that a lot, right? Where stuff actually changes when you equip something, and I love that. That is very important in my opinion in games. So yeah, you can still see, like, I have little spots open, and if it wouldn't crash, that would be great. So after, of course, figuring that out and feeling quite a bit more powerful, skipping ahead a little bit more, I think I went to another Weavenest at the very, very, very far right of the map, by the way. This is like Farfield's bottom right. There is another Weavenest. Again, you can actually very obviously see that on the map. I don't know if I showed it right here. Either way, you see it, right? There's like there's a door symbol with 2 eyes, and you can very obviously see it. So this is now Weavenest Cindril, which has probably the best upgrade. So I was like, huh, what's this right now? A music maybe? Or sprinting. So this was a very happy surprise. Silk Speed Anklets. And it is sick. Draws upon the wearer's own silk to increase sprinting speed. So yeah, this thing lives in my bar now. I never got rid of it, I think, after this. Well, I think it was a little bit difficult right now, but with another crest, you can have 3 yellows, and this thing lived in there. Like, it is so gosh darn sick. You sometimes use more silk than you like naturally regenerate, but this with Weavelight, for example, you can pretty much unlimited amount just run through the game, and you are fast, as you can see. So I think I used it right now, but you'll definitely see it. Now this is the normal sprinting speed. There's still the normal sprinting speed, and now you see how fast you are. And I love, by the way, that it's because you just went through this, right, with sound, and you now run through it again with sound just to hear it. You hear, see, and feel the difference. It's a beautiful combination in like game design, right? It's great. It's so fucking good. Sorry, had to swear there. Anyhow. So this thing lives now with me, as you can see. But moving on ahead, because we still have a lot to do. Again, gave some relics to her now to get some things. By the way, I love that you can read like the lore, because this was also a mistake in Hollow Knight, right? When you gave something to the librarian, I think was it? It's like it's gone. Like you can never read that thing again. And in Silksong, you can always reread the lore part. over and over and over and try to understand it. So it's great. So you can never, like, even if you missed it the first time or you forget about it, you can read it again. Partially in her place, but also in your own home of some sort. Either way, moving on, because there's still so much more. I think I went back to Bone Bottom. I think I still haven't bought, like, the simple key. Oh, I think now I buy the simple key, right? Yes, so now I buy the simple key. I think I also defeated this guy now, which only drops, I think it was a shard, right? The Beast Shard. Is it called a Beast Shard? Yeah, it's a Beast Shard. I think it gives, like, 130, 140 shell shards, so it's neat. But it's also not like, oh my god, this is poggers. It's fine, right? It was a neat boss. It was a little bit longer because I just, like, you know, hid, waited for this to end, then activated my poison, attacked him once, the poison hit him, you know, triggered 2 small attacks probably. I don't know how the poison actually scales in terms of damage. It doesn't stack. I wish the poison would stack. Oh my god, that would be sick. So yeah, wasn't like the craziest fight, but of course using some traps like or weapons like I did right there. It's pretty good, huh? Because it hits like multiple times. I love that. I love that weapon. It's pretty good. Anyhow, moving on to the door, because now I was able to open the door right here, go through, and this also shows a Weavenest right here. But this, I think you need another ability to actually get there. Not even with, like, faster sprinting, you can get there. It's, like, really high up. So, great to have found another Weavenest, but, you know, I needed something more. Moving on from there, this was, I think I actually died briefly here, because I underestimated these enemies, because they do, because they, like, eat you up, right, and do 1-2 damage, I think even 3, who knows. Very dangerous, of course, Wormways. But long story short, Lifeblood. I love seeing Lifeblood again in the game. I mean, we know it from a trailer, because she used Lifeblood as, like, a syringe, and this is pretty much the quest to get it. So you find, for example, this guy who experiments with Lifeblood right now. I think they call it Plasmium, is, I think, a different name for it in this game. So you do his quest, which is a plasmium from these guys. So it's funny enough, you actually get a temporary weapon where you have to, like, charge it up and just stick it in, like, pretty cool. I like that. A little twist to, you know, again, it's a pretty much just a fetch quest, but it's, like, a little bit different. I like that. You know, it's a bit different again. Back and forth, you of course get the where is it right now? It's that, for example, the plasmium file. Injecting the liquid allows one to gain health beyond their natural limits. One thing I actually didn't try is, clearly you can see it's purple now because of the venom thing. I don't know what that means. I haven't tried this out. Either it means your attack also poison now, or you poison yourself, or so, I don't know. Or maybe there's, like, a poison cloud afterwards. I don't know. Feel free to try it out. But I like that it does something like this venom thing. I like that there are multiple interactions with it. So yeah. I now went, I remembered all the way to the left here. You can actually, with wall jump, go up here and go to the left side, unlock this door that has been locked since the beginning of the game, if you looked to the left, right? And here is another chapel. I think this is the chapel. Isn't this the Wanderer one? Yes, it's the Wanderer. My favorite. I love this guy. Yeah, of course, it's kind of dangerous and all. But long story short, you bind yourself again, and you get bound the Crest of Wanderer. Cut swiftly and nimbly with short, precise strikes. So, having now finally understood what it is, this is now very fast. And this is what I meant with it's a loadout system on top of a charm system in one kind of. Because this is now the swift charm, pretty much, but inside the loadout of this, the Wanderer. It sure is short, but spoiler, you can increase your nail length, so that's pretty good. So yeah, the nail length increase, that tool plus this is like, it's beautiful. And then of course increasing your nail damage even further was not all I needed. I definitely want more damage, but boy does it feel good with it. Also, by the way, different enemies spawn here after some time. Just FYI, because I went back here just to check up on some stuff. Anyhow, of course, the chapel maid now said, hey, you opened the gate and etc. I like that, there's different dialogue. So now I was experimenting. So I was saying, okay, I have 3 memory lockets. There are 3 spots I can open. 3 yellows and 2 blues and only 1 red. But again, I don't really care about the damage tools anyways, right? This is perfect for me. This is exactly what I needed. But I was like, okay, wait a second. I have to think about this. There could be more crests out there. Do I now want to use the memory lockets here or wait for, the future? But I was like, there has to be more memory lockets out there. And I love this thing already. Let me just use it. So I then used it and was able to just equip the things I needed. And it's a beautiful thing. So now I had the magnetite brooch. Then of course the silk speed anklet, so I run real fast. And then I think I used a shard pendant for a while, but I think I also used the compass most of the time. But as mentioned, when you go back to Ava, you then have you get another Vesticrest, and that can be upgraded from 1 to 2. So you can have another yellow one tool and another blue one on top of that. And I think you can upgrade it again to get a red one. Wouldn't matter to me, but still very cool. I think it's yellow, blue, red, something along those lines. Anyways, go back to Ava. She has some surprises sometimes. So yeah, with all of this now, for hours, I was like, I'm gonna beat this goddamn boss now. Ish. Because I think I still haven't... Oh, yeah. Yup. You saw what happened. So, it took me now, again, from 138 to 26. So this was like 25 minutes of just this boss, more or less. Took some time, but I got really comfortable. And again, did you see how fast I am now with the silk speed anklets? Look at this. And this is just like the beauty of Silk Song, because it's like, you couldn't have done this in Hollow Knight. Look at this. Like, I noticed her doing this right now. And I know, oh my god, she's gonna thrust towards me. But I'm right now falling. So what can I do? I can run. And I run real fast. It's so good. Of course, this only works when you have like large, long arenas, right? But this is perfect. Silk speed anklets in this fight was amazing. Good. With this, of course, this piece of garbage boss. And this is, by the way, off screen, so I can barely see it, okay? So yeah, I was not mad. I should have expected this. A little bit, I guess. So yeah. Thankfully, I was now used to this boss fight. So of course, I defeated her once again. And this time, I went really, really far away from her. So yeah. And this time I went really, really, really far away from her. And I was like, nah, never mind. I'm gonna make it real safe and just gonna go all the way to the other side of the arena. Just, just making sure. So now, after having gone back to her corpse, which, by the way, just actually burning all, I'm going back to the gate. The gate opens up with this animation, which is beautiful. And this is now, which is, by the way, looks beautiful. I was like, wow, this looks enormous. This is ginormous, but we knew the citadel has to be large. And I think it happens now. Yeah. And now I realized, holy shit, all of this was Act 1 so far. A story has 3 acts. It actually blew my mind a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, how large is this freaking game? Because if all of this I have experienced now was... anyways, was insane. So yeah. Crazy. Absolute insanity what Team Cherry did. Insane. But of course... in a Metroidvania, you get more and more powerful, but you have to drop in power briefly, you know, to put you back in your place. Yeah, so... classic. Going into the Citadel, of course, is not as easy, but of course, things are also broken down, right? It has been, I think, decades now, generations since, you know, this Farloom was actually a place to live. I think from, if you look, like, read the lore and all that, so yeah. I have 42 rosaries to my name. And these benches are temporarily, this was pretty tough. This whole area was, you know, dying, doing over and over, running out of rosaries. Dear God, please let me out of here. Oh my god, I finally got a map. I know where to go. Like, this was rough. This area was... I think I instantly healed. Yeah, I pretty much used every opportunity to heal myself to just... It was rough. I think I've never actually went back to this one area. Maybe I should do this again. I just realized I just went through this once and never came back. I was like, hell nah, bruh. So I probably should. I don't even know if I got this spool fragment. I should probably do this again. I really want to play Silksong now. But that's the beauty of this game. You're always like, wait a second, I could do this now. Exactly, and that's the beauty. So yeah. Moving past this whole thing, because it was insane, I also spent some money here, which I think is just lore. Maybe? Or what if I spend money 3 times? Maybe it unlocks a path. We'll have to try this now if I go back there again. But yeah, these are also, I think, temporary still. But after struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling... finally a bench. Thank God. Out of this horrible place and actually into the Citadel. Into the Choral Chamber. At this, Choral Chambers has probably one of the most beautiful music in the game. It is so beautiful. It's one theme that I actively noticed and really enjoyed. I'm not saying the music is bad in Silksong, God no, but it's actually the only music I really noticed outside of bosses that I genuinely enjoyed. All the other ones were, they were there, but this one I was like actively absorbing. It was beautiful. So, past this, of course, Lace has to come back. And to be fair, I like that this area was kind of quiet so far, the Citadel. But of course, after Lace, also, is it here? Yeah, she's like haha and funny and, you know, giggly and all that, like high-pitched. And then it's like a very strong, like a very aggressive for her. And then, of course, things change. Because it now pretty much activated whoever is at the top and activated now the entire place. Which I think also activates the music. Yeah, now it activates the music with it, which is a beautiful thing. So, yeah, now these enemies are quite tough. And that's what I mean with they take so many hits, and even with a nail upgrade, I didn't really feel strong. Which is fine, because, you know, I got stronger, and in a Metroidvania now I fell down and have to work my way past this point, which you do get past this point where these enemies don't become like a major hurdle anymore. But they still have surprisingly a lot of health. But yeah. past this, I use sometimes the needle in and, you know, see certain things. You can, like... It's pretty much like, I would say a better dream nail in a way, right? You still notice, like, the past memories and all. I think this is just rosaries, if I'm correct. Yeah, it's a rosary necklace, so it's 130 rosaries, so it's not nothing. But yeah, there's so many areas, so many spots. And I think this is now... Yeah, I think this is finally... I was like so happy finding a fast travel, and thankfully I just found rosaries, right? So I instantly could buy it now. I didn't have like the problem I had with blasted steps where I was like, please give me rosaries, I need them, right? But I couldn't. But here I had enough, and I was really happy. It felt like I was, again, starting to really feel comfortable in this world, even though it was difficult and harsh and effed me over many times. I, of course, started to get very comfortable. Also, I just realized I had the middle Silk Eater and not the second. Oh, interesting. Not Silk Eater, sorry, Silk Heart. I also didn't know where I got the Silk Eater from, which is, by the way, similar to in Hollow Knight where you can get your Shade back, but in Hornet gets the Cocoon back. So I think I used it actively once, because there's one area, I'm not going to spoil it right now, that I was like, I'm not going to go back there. Just give me back my Cocoon right now, please. I actively used it to just not backtrack again, pretty much, to my Cocoon. All right, so I think I took a quick break there. Found this spot here, interesting. Lots of little areas that you find, but all the way up and to the right, Songclave. Songclave, that's actually what it is. Also found the white key, which is, I think, for, yeah, the Citadel's Whiteward, which was, I think, this spot at the bottom right here that I just was at. So, Whiteward is a little bit of like a hospital area, right? So it's kind of sick, but it's very, very horror-ish, and I love that. So, another bell, of course. Then the caretaker woke up pretty much from here, and he knows a lot. The caretaker knows a lot of stuff, and I think even Hornet says at some point that he knows way more than he's letting on, and he's like, "Oh, is it this obvious or something?" So it's like, it's good writing. I really like that. It's finally someone who like you can interact with. So before this, this of course is I didn't fully understand what the area at the top here is, which is the not the terminus. It's the fast travel system inside the Citadel. Also, these enemies are gosh darn insane. But I'm gonna spoil it right now. This path, like this horizontal path right now, is my farming spot. They drop about 30 rosaries. With something else, they drop more. Not a whole lot more, but definitely more. And you can farm like 2,000 rosaries just going back and forth here. Literally just back and forth. It's perfect. But before you can do that, of course, and go back and forth, you gotta fight those enemies. Which are the... oh my god, what are they called again? The Cogwork Dancers. That's what they are. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's... was it? Yeah, I died, of course, once, right? But here's the beauty of it. The second one activates again, right? And because they started getting faster, right? This is now slower. And it completely screwed up my timing in my head. Because I thought it's gonna be fast again. But no, it's like... It's a lone dancer. Of course it's slower. He doesn't have a partner to interact with, right? So it's so good. Such a beautiful moment. But of course, it's not the most difficult fight. It's actually, in my opinion, an easier fight than I thought it would be. And that's it. So, Cogwork Dancers done. And I'm sure there is a more difficult fight out there, because I got a little bit spoiled by, something. But this activates this whole thing. which, by the way, is sick that like the whole thing moves. Just like, God damn, is it sick. And also like feels heavy, because it has to be heavy, right? Like a massive statues. So this is now where like the next big part of course of the main quest activates, which is find the melodies of all three of them, which is kind of rough. I think did I go all the way down? Yeah, I think I went down here. I was starting to get less scared of stuff. So at first, of course, I was very scared of like exploring new areas and all that, but the game gives, I think, a lot of benches, usually, right? So here's another bench right after the boss fight, which is really nice, and at the beginning of this new area, the Cogwork Core, I think is called. So, this whole area, little gauntlet, let's actually quickly go through, because there's still so much to talk about. But, in short, gauntlet, lots of little areas, and this guy who gives another oil, by the way, so this is the third oil actually in the game you can get. There's another one that you get as you continue playing through, so that's sick. I actually thought this is an enemy, so I was like, oh my god! So, this is the very long quest that I still haven't done. I'm gonna skip past that. If you know, you know. It's long. I don't know where to get the last two things. I'm sure I'll figure it out. And worst case, I might have to Google it. It would be like this. So that's another, that's the vendor for Songclave, so you actually have a vendor, but I continued on, used the white key to get into, get into the ward. This is a very interesting enemy, like, just silk around his head and just like, sorry, you couldn't see it actually, they're right there. Like, kind of like, yeah, that attack. It's super interesting. I like that because I don't know if there's any other enemy that has a similar attack. Just looks cool. But again, with the current weapon that I have, and also the pouch, the venom pouch, I do a lot of damage. Also, I'm sorry that I did that. I'm very sorry. I know. I love these moments. So that was kind of interesting, like a little forge area, like kind of like it heats up things. Also kind of scary enemies here. But here I was like, oh my god, Underworks. So I'm back actually in the Underworks, right? You go down actually again. But also now find this here. So I knew, oh, okay, I might get this ability here now. Now I remember actually where to get this. Just got this. The game is so large. Back and forth. Whole lot of stuff happened. Very difficult. I think I died once. Yes, I died once going through here because lava, death, everything does like 2 damage. Stuff explodes. Everything hates you down here. But probably one of the better abilities in the entire game is the claw line. It's big because fling the needle as a harpoon and launch forcefully towards it. So you can now pretty much catch yourself like this into these rings, which some of them pull down, and some you can also just like pull yourself to enemies, which I kind of completely ignored that you can pull yourself to enemies with the harpoon, but also of course to walls. So it's both combat and movement ability. So 2 in 1, really nice. But back and forth, I also found now this vendor, which is the 12th architect, who sells a variety of weapons, but most importantly, of course, is the scuttle brace. I think we saw briefly in the trailer where it just hornet scuttles away, kind of funny. But most importantly, a crafting kit costs more damage. That was my main focus, getting that. So that's definitely what I wanted. Very important to me. I think I haven't gotten any of the other weapons yet in my playthrough, because again, it's just like, I like the minions, because I don't need to tell them what to do. I just spawn them, and they just attack the enemies, and that's it. So, I like that a lot more. It's very passive, which, you know, is usually what I like. So, also like that you can use the needle in on these creatures, so you can see we all together. So, there's always like a little bit of lore everywhere. So, skipping ahead more, I now found this in the Underworks. So you go all the way down to the left, find that bridge, and then you find this again, which I think as you can see, I only have those two. The Terminus is always active, and the Underworks is active here. The first one is actually when you go through the Underworks first, I think, right after you fell down the elevator, right? The thing is, I found that thing similar, but I didn't know what it really was. And second, I couldn't get it because of rosaries, right? I was struggling with rosaries, and I didn't want to like use it for like a fast travel system. To be fair, it's actually kind of worth it because it's a fast travel system and it's also a bench. So you spend 80 rosaries for kind of both. Kind of good, actually. And a little bit of like more lore. So I'm gonna skip way ahead now, I think, to pretty much the end, because I think at this point I was more exploring, feeling it out. I think new enemies started spawning. For example, hold up, I want to show them right now. I feel like they were here. So, oh no, they were here before I died. Never mind. So they're anyways like the little mechanical ghost kind of thing that attack you. They're really annoying because they also like absorb your silk. Like they draw the silk from your body into their thing and make some sort of like crazy nail strike attack that explodes. It's insane. It does a lot of damage. I think it might even deal 3 damage. I'm not quite sure. Either way, this was my second recording, which ended with me back, of course, in Bone Bottom, good old place. And now realizing what I have to do. Get the melodies, get up the Citadel to the highest spot, and then kind of finish the game, I guess. But how difficult is it to get all the melodies? Let's find that out. Of course, Wormways. Where else would I want to be, of course? No, actually, no, I don't want to be in Wormways, ever. But, but the thing is, I now had the harpoon, right? The fling. Meaning, I can now actually get up there, potentially, if I actually wouldn't suck. But I'm a god gamer after all. So yeah. And you can go up there now in the Weaver's Nest, which I think unlocks... what did that unlock now? Was it actually the cell card? Ah, no, that was the strike ability, right? That was the sharp dart now. Yeah, so pierce through enemies in a blur of blade and silk. So you pretty much, instead of like throwing out your nail and pulling it back, you actually thrust through the enemies, which I really like usually as an ability because it also works as a movement ability, right? So that's actually pretty nice. Of course, you do need silk to use it, so it's not like you can use it all the time and spam it. So there's that. That was pretty neat, but very dangerous areas because it kind of like it's funny enough. This Weave Nest is still part of Wormways because I think it has been broken into, right, over years or generations. It has been broken into by these other creatures because the other Weave Nests, nothing was in there. It was empty pretty much, right? Well, even Weavenest Atla was kind of connected to the Gross Motto. No, Modi... Mossy Grotto. Is it Mossy Grotto? Bro, I'm losing it with that name. Anyhow, moving on. Let's finally move on. So I think I did the new quest, so grants new wish, which of course gets him a slab, right? Got him. So, got him. I think this was just... I think you just get loot. Oh, now it's the tool pouch, so it's the pouch capacity. So as you can see right now, I don't know how many hours, 1 billion hours in, I now had the second capacity and also the second damage now upgraded. But there's a whole lot more to do, and I think I still haven't gotten all the capacity yet. I think I'm still missing one in my original playthrough. Oh my god, I completely forgot about this one. So yeah, a locked bell home. I like that Horda just yells out. It's like, ew. Do it again. No. I love it so much. I don't know why. It's just the best shout. So yeah, I completely forgot this existed, by the way, in this video game. I gotta check this. That's what I mean with, I still didn't use markers, which was a massive mistake, because I lost a lot of these areas, or forgot about these areas. But again, rosaries don't fall from the trees right at the beginning of the game, so I might not want to actually use it on pins. Anyhow, good. Now I know what I will do later today. In other news, I think this is this the Pimpillos? No. Oh, sorry, are the Pimpillos, which are the explosions, but it's not the, in Cogwork, I think somewhere in the Cogwork Core area, which we'll go there anyways in a second, I think, you can make these, like, minion enemies. Crut? I actually don't know where this guy is. Oh no, I think he's part of the Flea Caravan. Yeah, he actually is in the Flea Caravan. Isn't he also the guy that is, like, peeking at you when you're, you know, bathing? Anyways, you'll figure it out. It's weird. He's a creep. We'll kill him. Anyway, Sinner's Road. So this was another area where I was like, oh my god, there is another area in, like literally after so many hours, I'm still like, oh my god, there's another area again. It's insane. Like, it never stops pretty much. So, Sinner's Road, the Green Prince. I still don't fully know what's up with him. I think he has something to do with the dancers, the Cogwork Dancers. Because I think he or his partner was probably inspiration for them, I think. And yes, I did save him. Which is bad, by the way, because now I need a simple lock that I don't have anymore in the game, and I don't know where to find one. Dear God, help. No, don't tell me, by the way. So yeah, Sinner's Road, very difficult place, and I think I actually died at this big guy, kind of underestimated him. I also ignored this spot here, because these guys, I think they also give you something. I should probably go back to them. I saw, again, it's kind of sometimes bad when you go to NPCs, they have stuff to talk, but they also have, like, suddenly new quests for you they didn't have before. And it's difficult to do this in a quest system that isn't, like, too video gamey. It's like, hey, you got this new ability, how about you go back to this person, right? That would be too video gamey. Like, why, how would Hornet know that? It's weird, I get it, but yeah, it's you kind of have to, like, backtrack a lot to NPCs to check up on them and be like, hey, do you have something? No, okay, let me go away again. I don't know. So there was that. But also found Shakra now, again in this area, so thankfully I have the map of the Sinner's Road, which was, again, very difficult area. It's not like an easy place to be. Again, skipping ahead, so I found him, which there was actually a courier quest, which is pretty sick. No, I wouldn't say sick. Courier quests are kind of rough. But he gives you Soul Eaters. So, pretty much an endless supply of Soul Eaters in the game. Which is pretty neat, right? If you liked using them or need to use them and you need more of them. Like, you can just go back to him and get a Soul Eater. I don't know how often. I don't know what the timing is. Every 10 minutes? 20 minutes? I have no idea. But yeah, pretty cool that there is a source of Soul Eaters that you find. Yeah. Use the simple key, of course, to get him out. More lore. Moving on ahead, we gotta get to stuff. So, this is at the top of Sinner's Road. Going up here was, I think, currently not possible. Oh my god, what else? Barb Bracelet, I think this is increases damage taken, but also increases damage dealt by the needle. So it's typical in most Metroidvanias, right? Take double damage, deal double damage, or something along those lines. Classic thing. Kinda neat. I think I've never really used it. Even though, you know, I'm a needle guy, I'm not a tool guy. Probably should use it, but I was like, man, taking even more damage would be very risky, you know, that would be very, very risky. So I did those quests, you know, get the guts, get it to them, and I think I get... They like to yap. Yeah, you get the tax, which is another weapon, so I think I've never a single time used them. Probably not bad though, right? Because enemies are usually on the ground anyways, some of them at least, so why not just throw some tax on the ground? Deal some damage. Who knows? Maybe it's actually really strong. I can imagine at, like, really large bosses, like the Judge, this would have been sick. Either way. So, found another flea. So I think I go all the way from Sinner's Road, kind of all the way around now, because, oh yeah, this is actually now possible, because I realized, oh right, I can go here now, because I have the sling thingy, right? So I can actually... hold myself on these rings and get higher up to places. So That was pretty neat. Again, I forgot I have a new ability. Maybe I should find new places to use it. There's actually a place in the far field's bottom right that I completely ignored until like 20 hours in again. The game is so large. It's insane. It's a beautiful thing. So we have the flea caravan. We have this guy again. And you can swim. The problem is, you see this guy here? This freaking creep. Disgusting. So I guess that's probably why he wants you to bathe. Like, isn't it the weirdest thing for an, like, older person to be like, hey, I have this, like, bathhouse. Would you like to use it, ma'am? It's the creepiest thing. Let's be honest. So weird. But, you know, in this world, I guess. And I haven't gone back to Fleamaster yet. Again, beautiful moment of even more fleas are in the caravan now. And they go up to the judge area. So this is pretty much the arena where the last judge was in. But after killing the last judge, this area is empty. So they can just move there. Pretty cool. Pretty good medium area. Because now you have the blasted steps bench at the bottom. This is pretty much in the middle. And then you're already in the citadel. But the problem is, and I think I realized this after this right here, how do I get up there? I can't. That's a problem. So you can't get up there without an ability that I haven't found yet, and I haven't found for a very, very long time. Because it's also really gosh darn difficult. So it kind of is not good for me yet. Either way, moving on ahead, I think I went to the Moss Druid and got the, you know... I think I got more mossberries, but I also got the mossberry stew. You know, I tried to figure out, can I get a nail upgrade before I continue on, right? But let's actually skip ahead a whole lot more. The Cogwork area is quite rough, but it has one very big positive thing. The music. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is such a gorgeous music. I was like, I don't know what the, not transcend. I didn't transcend because of it, but it's like, it was so, I didn't expect such a beautiful theme for a Cogwork area, right? Like machinery moving together, right? It was such a beautiful thing. What wasn't beautiful is that it was like Lamar White Palace. And yeah, it just completely effed me the heck up, this area. I also, I think, didn't understand for a very long time that you can just, like, skip what you have to do in Cogwork. So let's skip ahead to that. Oh, never mind, I lied. So actually, the Choral Chambers had this area where you had to, like, move these things left and right. So I accidentally didn't do the Cogwork area, even though it is kind of the most obvious one, because you're in the middle after the fight. You can just instantly do it, right? To go into the Cogwork Tower or whatever it's called. But I actually went to this Whispering Vault right here and did that whole thing. And I was like, oh my god, it's another area. I was like, ain't no way. No, it is a way. So there's this guy now who is similar to the relics, but because it's also music related, there's cylinders, right? You usually have, I think, like in older machines where you can put stuff in and there are little like spots that play the music, right? Depending on, I think, how high the indent is or the other, something along those lines. Either way, cool way to, you know, add more music related stuff in this game. And it would make sense that a vault keeper or like a historian of some sort in this world uses music in this way. So, moving on ahead from this, he also kind of helps you and tells you where to go when it comes to getting the melodies. And this is, I think, also the... Isn't this, I think, where you get the oil? Yes, I think this is the one oil. Yes, this is the one oil. You can get 2 free nail upgrades. This is the second oil. The third oil is now the long quest where you get the 5 things to the gourmand or something. So yeah. Greatly skipping ahead from the bell, unlocking this now. So this is now another travel location, so I can actually quickly travel to the town and back. slowly getting, again, more comfortable. If this wouldn't crash! So obviously I was all over the place with my quests. I didn't really focus on one single quest. So I went around, did some side quests, got a few more wishes done. She was suddenly in the air right there, which is really funny, by the way. I also like, lore-wise, that she kind of also tells you some stuff. So for example, Hornet is like, hey, you know, I have to like grab like melodies and stuff, and certain characters in the world actually tell you what these melodies are, where you might find them, why they were used, why they were important, etc., right? And why no one knows these melodies. So it's really good. It's really well told, because you would be like, bro, it's a melody. How has no one known this until now? So I guess. But again, it's also since generations since, you know, this whole thing existed or like broke down, right? So there are, of course, more shortcuts and all, but very difficult. This was such a difficult area. I don't know why I had such a struggle with this area. I think it was just like a combination of spikes, flying enemies, and all that jazz. But it's insane that after all this time, is it here? Where is it again? It's right here. That there is another area. So, spoiler, high halls now. So, this is pretty much the one area where stuff got real. Like, these enemies are getting either tough, quite complex, hit hard, or hit just not hard, but it's just, again, it's just so complex sometimes. Thankfully, this tool was really good if you used it well, of course. But this was the least problematic thing. Well, first of all, I, of course, got my... I think this is now actually where you get the Cogflies. Yes, that's what they're called. I always forget the name. So yeah, Cogflies. I love these guys. They're beautiful. You can actually have 4 at the same time, so they're strong. Especially if you get the tool damage up. So, working my way through here, which, by the way, there's so many beautiful areas, but I mean, in this, it's amazing. The one problem was, though, is this gauntlet right here of the left side of the bottom of the high halls to get to the first melody, which, by the way, I like that it shows you where the melodies are on the map, so thank you. This is rough. This took me an ungodly amount of time.
This is insane.
I tried it so often, and it continued on and on and on, and I'm like, this is impossible. How is there still more to do? How are there still more enemies? And I was like, oh, I did it, guys, thankfully. And no, it continued. It was insane. It was absolute insanity. I went back here multiple times, upgraded, I think went to completely other areas now. I think I just pretty much explored old areas. Oh yeah, I think I did like part of the Weavenest Atla, where you have to actually go to the top and left, which, by the way, I think you can't do if you don't have the cling ability, so there's even like a mini puzzle in the Weavenests. And this is, I think, one of the first Vesticrests. Yes. So yeah, huge. This was massive, by the way. I was so happy this was a thing, because I was like, please let me equip more tools. And this was this is the way. This is the way indeed. So now, I think I instantly went back again and was like, hey, could you give me more upgrades? She didn't. She did not. So, the Vesticrest now works that you have like a little spot to the left, no matter which thing you had, which is awesome. This is amazing. So, of course, having the Wanderer Crest, which I really enjoyed anyways. I think I tried to use this one in a while. Either way, experimented, because again, right now, I was like mentally struggling with, oh my god, I need more damage, I need more stuff, because the high halls F me up. And, you know, I need to do it, otherwise I can't continue the game, right? So I needed to find a way. So I went back to the Chapel Beast, and I think this also, again, took like multiple tries for whatever reason. And this is the Beast Crest, right? I think you unlock the Beast Crest. And also one sad moment, this guy is dead now. and you can get the Fractured Mask for free. But you can't get the weapon. So I feel like this is one of the weapons, like, if you haven't found it, it's gone. I think. Like, the claw ability. I'm like, wait, am I missing a weapon now? So that's kind of interesting. Either way, I'm jumping around here because there's, like, so much happening. Either way. By the way, this creature right here, wasn't this also in Hollow Knight? It's, I think, a creature we have seen before, right? Like, a massive, like, corpse of this thing. Like, it's some sort of, like, big-ass weaver thing. Yeah. This is kind of interesting. The Beast Crest seems strong, if you can handle it. I can't, because it constantly moves you forward a lot. I don't like that usually. I don't mind a little bit of a knockback, but an ability that constantly makes me, like, move forward in a 2D game will F me up. So you have, like, these slashes, and I think if you do it in the... Or maybe... Yeah, this was. The pogo, for example, like, completely screwed me over. So I knew, dude, this just messes up my pogo. Like, I can't do pogos anymore if I have this. Also, this fully upgraded thing is, it doesn't heal you, it gives you lifesteal. Which I can imagine is pretty strong. Like, if you use this at a boss and he's on the bottom, like, if a boss lays down and you use this and you hit him 4 times quickly, you heal for 4 health in like a second or 2. It's kind of strong. I can imagine speedrunners love this thing. Who knows? We'll see. Good. Moving on ahead. So I went back to the deep docks. This is actually an area you can do way earlier after I think you get the cling ability, but I didn't do that. And this could actually be the first mask shard you... Wait. I don't know if this is actually the first mask shard you get. Anyways, this is very close to the deep docks. I completely forgot about this. You know why? Because I didn't use the pins. I'm bad at Metroidvanias. So, there's that. Back to the high halls, because I think I went straight back to it. And did I actually beat it this time? I think I did. Again, it's like 30 minutes of just this. No, never mind. I died again. Okay, yeah, never mind. So I cheated again. So if you hit the cocoon and, again, quit the game and go back in, you just got your cocoon back. It's immediate. And I say, you know, you spawn at the bench. So I think I still didn't do it. After 30 minutes of trying, I think I just found in the Windward. Is it Windward? Was it Windward? Whiteward? Anyways, I completely forgot this. At the complete far left at the very end of this or something is the Injector Band. This is what I mentioned with healing. This thing increases the speed of binding. This thing plus the Multibinder is what lives on my character now. Because it heals you for 2 and then quickly for another 2. So it's the heal is now 4, but it's as fast as before. Because the Multibinder makes it slower. Far slower. But with this, it's kind of like a balance. It's a beautiful thing. This and the Multibinder lives on my character. It's great. Good. This is, I think, where you help Sherma, because she is getting attacked. This was kind of rough. Like, I think I nearly underestimated these enemies. Gotta be a little bit careful there. So, I now went to, again, another area, because it was like, this game is so motherfucking huge. I was like, wait a second. What's on the map to the far left? Because there is something. And, of course, the slab. Goodness gracious. Again, such a beautiful... Like, from a world building, it's so good. It makes total sense. I love it. And to be fair, more areas means more upgrades, potentially, which means I can actually do the high halls. So, because, again, I was struggling here. But you can't really do much in the slab at the beginning, because you need a key. You get that key somewhere else, etc., etc. I'm not gonna do that right now, because I did this way later. I did this way later after exploring more of the game. So I think this was a spool fragment, right? Yeah, it's a spool fragment, so, you know. Actually, no, I got 1 and 2, so perfect. Also really nice, you know, during boss fights, you have, like, more spool to either, like, charge up a heal or something. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. Then I think I kind of worked my way from the slab back and down, which is this quick area here. but also, if I remember correctly, a terminus. Yes, you also unlock a terminus. I would say terminus because that's a ventrica, so it's the travel system. So you unlock that in the Choral Chambers. Because I thought, oh yeah, wait a second. I didn't unlock this in the Choral Chambers, and this needs to be a kingdom that is connected. So obviously it needs one of those fast travel systems. So it just made total sense. So yeah, didn't put one and one together of like, wait a second, why isn't there a fast traveling Choral Chambers? Well, there is of course one. The developers thought of that. So that's good. Unlock that. Then, of course, a bathroom, which, by the way, it literally wants to kill you, as you can see. Great bathroom. No, it's kidding. I like this little bathroom area, so you can actually, swim and heal yourself. I think there's also a little bit of a shortcut somewhere, but again, we gotta keep on moving. Garmon and Zaza. Garmon and Zaza now, entered... after some time, because they were in Greymoor. Now we see them again in this area, and they are now later in the far right of Songclave, so that's where they chill. That's pretty cool. This little music puzzle was really neat. Of course, if you are bad at memory sometimes, or just bad in general, this took you a few tries. It definitely didn't take me a few tries. I will not show you the entire 3 minutes. But I didn't understand at first why. And it's because I didn't have an ability to get me to the place where you use the cog heart piece, or all the pieces, which becomes a heart, a cog heart. So yeah, it's a little bit untransparent at first. Why do I even need this? I wouldn't even say it's necessary. Maybe. But I also don't think I have fully finished that quest line yet. Who knows? Good. Grindle is back. So this guy is a little bugger, but he doesn't really do much, which is a little bit of a shame that you can't do much with him right here, but he is somewhere else. So it's weird. Like, I wish he would actually be a little bit of he sells you something right now, but also later in his spot. Would be neat, but it's how it is. That's, I think, where the Green Prince, after I saved him, of course, he appears in here and came back to his citadel. So he knows this place. I think we also see him later with the Cogwork Dancers again, giving his opinion or his thoughts on it. So moving on ahead to, I don't know what I did here. Oh my god, there's like so much. Oh yeah, I did the Savage Beast Fly. Oh my god, this fight. Oh my, okay, nah, it's fine. This was totally easy, guys. I definitely did this first try. Jesus Christ, this thing was insane. I started to really appreciate those Conchflies. And also having gotten, 2 or 3, I think, upgrades now for damage for the tools, I was like, okay, this is where damage is now. I like this, right? So I started to get comfortable with it. But again, this thing is gosh darn difficult, so Lamau. So I think I did the Horn Fragment, which I think gives you... Right, this was finally the second, another Mask Shard, and the second health I got. So now I finally felt a tiny little bit tankier, just barely. But again, the focus was get upgrades, get to high halls, finish it. And I needed more health, like anything that gave me health, Spell Fragments, a tool upgrade, anything, like, or just more tools in general, right? Everything could be an upgrade. So it was great. So I definitely was on the right path to finishing that. So now I also bought the Multibinder. I risked it and realized that this is actually pretty huge as a connection. I also can see I use now 3. So I use the Magnetite, or is it Magnetite? Bruges, the Shard Pendant, which is actually the very first one I think you find, right? The Compass, and then the Silk Speed ones. I think instead of this one, I think I use something else later, but... Again, it's a good combination, because you always want this to make more tools, right? Otherwise, you run out of them. Either way, good combination for now. So, back to this hacking thing. And then 2 of these. I think they always screwed me up. I think I died like so many times here. But I was like slow and steady. I was like, let's go. First one is done. Don't mess this up. Because again, 2 hits and I'm dead. But even if I have 4 health, they do 2 damage. So I gotta be careful. Yep. Yep, and I messed up there. Gotta be careful here now. Yep, grabbed, you know, the little silk spot at the bottom left that dropped. Again, big attack. Go in once. The beautiful thing is, if you... I didn't mention this. Let's go. The crest, by the way, also changes how your attacks change when you sprint, for example. So, with the Wanderer crest, which I appreciate, because it's, you know, makes me fast, you can actually run fast, slash the enemy, which pulls you into the air, and hit again, and I think again. Like, it's pretty much a quick 3 hits in a row. It's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. So, the first conductor, Ballador, finally did this. Beautiful moment, by the way, because this is, like, one of the characters that is, like, really high up in terms of, like, what he knows, like, in terms of the world. And you can get back to him, and I think he says multiple things, so it's not, like, only one dialogue. He has, like, multiple things that he tells you. So, it's a beautiful thing. Play the game. I'm sure you played it. So, yeah. I did this now. Thank God. The biggest challenge is done. I'm lying. We go back to the Cogwork thing area. This area was now a little bit rough. Technically, there is one movement ability I could have gotten here like already now, but I didn't check it. And I'm gonna spoil it right now. It's to the left of the slab area, right? And we were in the slab area, and the game clearly lets you in there, just barely, to actually do the slab area, right? Sorry, the after the slab area, the mountain area, I think. Or was it Mount... something with Mount F. No, not the F word. But I didn't do it at all. So this is quite a bit more difficult, because you don't have like a little safety safe jump. Because, yes, you get the double jump in the Mount F area. Mount F. I should just say the mountain area. So, but I didn't do that. So I did this whole thing without the double jump, pretty much just pogoing good. And to be fair, I think the crest I have, which is the Wanderer crest right now, is probably the worst thing you can use here, because the nail attack, right, the range of your nail is really short. So I should have probably used a different crest here, just so I have a larger range with my nail. But either way, skipping all this, massive area here. This was a beautiful moment. This was a beautiful moment of... I was prepared for a fight, but I had no bench, so I was really scared. But there is no fight. It's called Silk Song for a reason. So good. Such a high point after struggling your way up. It's so good. Tearing up here. Beautiful. Architect's Melody. Such a beautiful high note to fight, like really working your way up here. Fighting your way. Beautiful. Now the problem is getting down without double jump, by the way. Goodness gracious, this was a little bit rough. I think I actually cheated once, and I think I nearly died. It's fine. And I just quit the game. But as with Hollow Knight, certain spots in the world are hard saves. This is a hard save. You spawn here, you don't spawn at the bench again. So, again, slightly cheated. But yeah, I made my way down. Found another cog hard piece. So, let's get this done, boys. So, let's check the achievements. Trobbio, found him after quite some time, because I think you have to go through the Whispering Vaults, if I'm correct. or through like a different part. This was, I think, first try. I think I did this first try. It's a pretty cool fight. I like it. It's like so flashy. I think flashy is the best way of explaining this. I was also surprised. These little whirlwinds that come out, I didn't expect that there are whirlwinds coming out. I was like, oh my god, like it hit me. I dealt like 2 damage, right? It's like, it's rough. He's dangerous, but it's cool. I do have to say, probably is 10 times more difficult when you have like camera shake active. It's camera, I mean, camera shake makes it feel also sometimes a game better. I don't know. Either way, you know, GG. I was like prepared to die right here. I was like, what is gonna explode in my face? Maybe you can actually die this fight. I don't even know. But yeah, GG. We get the Claw Mirror, which is, yeah, when blinding emits a dazzling flash that damages surrounding enemies. Pretty neat, actually. It's similar to what also was in Hollow Knight, right, with the poison cloud thingy. I think I used that for some time, but I think it wasn't really... Oh yeah, instead of that, I then used the longer nail thingy. But for a while I used that. It's pretty neat, right? Like, you just heal and... But keep in mind, if you use the Multibinder, you actually deal it twice. You deal 2 times the damage, because you heal twice. So, it's kind of neat. Either way, moving on, you go all the way down here. And, find this guy again. And, I think... Oh yeah, this is actually the spot now. Right, you actually, I think, have to kill Trobbio, go down, fight your way through this Weaver-like enemies, and here is one of these creatures, which I don't even know what these creatures are, is the Sacred Cylinder with the melody in it, and you learn the melody here, and he, of course, is like, you know, was it worth it? Did you like, you know, stealing history and all? But it's such a beautiful theme, by the way, also. Like, all the melodies were. Yeah, Vault Keeper's melody. And with this, now again, a beautiful moment where you play the music once again, because they, of course, want to hear it, because that's how they, you know, the whole thing activates, I guess, this whole system. And... again, such a beautiful high note, right? You fought your way through to get all 3 melodies. And now this. So just horn it for now with the needle in. Such a beautiful thing. It's just like that's like you could only really do this in like anything, a game that is, you know, about music, right? God damn it. Like so many like great high notes in this game. Not literally a high note, you know, it's just a very high emotional moment that I think Hollow Knight never really achieved. And one moment that it always achieved like such a high note for me is when you climb back up the abyss, right? When you dream nail the egg. That is like, that moment is always such an incredible high note, because it's so, because I think because of the music, because it like builds up, right? It's just, god damn, is it good. All right. With this now, we get another beautiful animation. I really appreciated this. And also, by the way, you go into the cage that... Oh, it's actually a different cage. My bad. The cage we were in, I think, originally was very round, right? But this one is more of like a normal cage. Also, I love this shot of you looking out the elevator into the field where Lace is, like, sleeping or resting right now. Such a good moment. Goodness. crazy. Also, that shot is like from the bottom up, like a hero shot, kind of. Oh. And it just instantly goes in. It's, oh. Yeah. So this is Lace. I guess people are probably gonna call it Lace 2, right? Because the second time you fight Lace. And I apparently love going outside the arena sometimes. So yeah, obviously I didn't do this fight in one go. It took me multiple tries. I think I went maybe back and got some other upgrades. No, I think I just fought this way. So this is pretty much from 539, 540 to like 556. It took quite some time. It took very long. And again, there's a second phase of Lace. You probably you already played it. You probably watched it 17 times. I hope I'm not skipping through these fights too fast. I don't know if you want to see my playstyle or something. Again, I'm definitely gonna stream this after I'm fully finished with the game. Definitely. I'm gonna stream the whole thing on Twitch, of course, if you want to see me struggle against the high halls again. My body is not prepared for it. So again, I was very much, as mentioned, nail only. As mentioned, I mostly used my nail and the auto attack, or just the auto attack, and no like tools. The reason for that is, again, it's just too complicated sometimes using them. When to use them? I could have probably used the minions because they do a lot of damage, but again, they also cost a lot of shards, and I don't have the shards. So, and at some point, like after 6 tries, you run out of shards. So what the heck do I do now, right? You have to auto attack anyways, because you can't craft them in the middle of a fight, I think. So it's at that point I just just really focused on hit the enemy, just hit the enemy, dodge. Go it slow, step by step, and try to find spots where I can heal. Again, I used the Multibinder with the injection bead, I think is it called, to, heal for 4 health. So I don't know if I can, I don't know if I have it somewhere where I heal myself. Actually, that would be a really good shot right here, maybe. So I got hit again. Can maybe skip ahead a little bit. So now I was nearly dead, right? But step by step, get 1 hit in once in a while, and I healed twice. Do you see how quick that was? Do you see that was insanely quick? Look at this again, nearly dead. All right, I got 2 hits in, perfect. Get another quick hit in. She jumps up. I know that means she jumps down here. She doesn't like fly out the arena, obviously. So she comes down, fly in the air, swipe down. I just got enough silk, and I instantly use it, as you can see. I think I instantly used it right here now. And then goes 2, and another 2. It's so fast. It's literally easy mode pretty much during a boss, right? I mean, it's not literally easy mode. You still have to get the silk somewhere, right? But it's so good. So Multibinder and injection bead, like just stick it in. It's so good. Just I live with those. But yeah, at the end, turns out Lace is not a real being, or maybe it is. I like that Hornet actually says what is real, right? I like how Hornet is more neutral or positive towards, right? Because Lace is like, my existence is not a real thing, right? I'm just silk, right? But Hornet is like, well, what does that even mean, right? You have emotions, you feel stuff, right? You experience things, you are a real thing. It's like, I love that Hornet is like, Hornet is such a good fucking character, by the way. I love it. It's just good. All right, moving on from this. The Cradle, which now adds a whole lot of lore here. I'm actually not quite sure if they wanted to get the Weavers out. Wait, let me just read one. Weaver in court apart, last of the line staked to service, tracked and taken beneath the city of steel, 8 choristas, 12 envoys lost to task. So I think they wanted to get the Weavers out, but they lost them, I think. Again, Mossbag is gonna make a 6-hour video on the lore of it, and to be honest, I think 6 hours might be cutting it short. No, I'm kidding, but there's, I think, a lot about the Weavers. Because how did they die? Why did they die? What happened to them? I'm not 100% sure right now if they wanted to get... I think they wanted to get out. But on the other side, I think there's also another, like, force in the world that actually killed them. Or tracked them down and wanted to kill them. Or used them in nefarious ways. I think there are 2 things. So I think the The upcoming boss, of course, is... I think she's actually the good one in this. So, this was... But it was the first Garama we hear from Hornet, by the way. I was like, oh my god, she said it. Okay, now it's serious time, boys. So, we are now, and I think this was about 15 hours in. It took me about 15 hours to get here, to the top of the Citadel. And find her. Grandmother Silk. Such a sick design. Also, the music is fucking banging right now. It's insane. I was like, okay, here we go. I was mentally prepared for a challenge, which it wasn't. And I think that's on purpose because, again, this is the bad ending. 99%. Ain't no freaking way this is the true ending. It can't be. So I died here. As you can see, I died once. I got back again. And I finished it. Sorry, you couldn't see that. I just skipped ahead. Sorry. So I died once, right? Let's go through this entire fight together. This is now 5 minutes, sorry, 7 minutes-ish, of me fighting this boss for the second time, and the second phase is blind. So, I don't know what was happening with me, but I was like on a roll. And I think you know what it really is. Again, like I mentioned, I think it's really the Multibinder and Injection Beat. Being able to heal 4 hearts, like you just saw, in such a quick amount of time is insane. It's so gosh darn powerful. I can imagine that the Multibinder itself, if you take that away and only have the Injection Beat, maybe it's also good enough, right? As you get better at the game, you might not need the Multibinder, but it's so powerful right now. Because again, it's 4 hearts or masks that you heal. So, such a beautiful fight, by the way. But you know what I also noticed? Well, this is going on because I'm gonna play the whole thing because it's just a beautiful moment, actually. And I was also taking it somewhat slow. I mean, okay, I also suck there. But again, you know, boom, 4 health, 4 masks healed. It's like, it's insane. It's crazy how strong that is. Like, you can just really outlive a boss. I mean, I literally did. So, I thought about this, of this fight. But specifically about this arena. Are we really at the top of the Citadel? Are we really? Because I expected, right? If you told me the final boss is at the top of the Citadel, right? I expected that. I think they also kind of teased this in the Edge magazine interview, like 2 years ago. And I was like, right. So I see myself at the top of a golden white Citadel on the balcony and fighting the boss. Right, in a grand display. But here we are in like some weird cave-like area and stuff, like something's missing. So it doesn't truly feel like a true ending, you know? Like, I mean, of course it's also a bad ending because of the last scene, which I'll explain when it comes up. So, second phase. I have never seen this phase in my life before. Ready. That's 3 hits, by the way. By the way, I love that display of her, like, just the fucking arms coming out. Because you actually don't see them right here, but she actually shows her, like, kind of, like, true form, like the Weaver. Which, I don't even know if she is a Weaver. It could be kind of interesting. Who knows? So, yeah, kind of scary. One thing I didn't understand here, and I think I only figured this out, the next day when I, you know, tried her again, you know, just to I don't know, just to see if there's a different ending, like when you don't bind her. Sorry, spoiler. I just noticed you can actually, her hitbox is massive if you want to use the harpoon. So if you LT and pull yourself to her, you can pull, like, you can pretty much hit her, like, right there, pretty much at the bottom of her, like, bulbous, whatever the heck that is. Like, her hitbox to pull yourself to is enormous. So, the harpoon is super powerful. Like, harpoon slash harpoon slash. Like, you can just deal some insane damage really quickly. So, we're still in the second phase. It's slowing down a little bit right there. I actually just used the harpoon just to move myself. Here I used it again. Getting a little bit antsy right now because the fight, you know, is taking quite some time. You know, like, focus is starting to drop, but we're in the home stretch here. We're in the home stretch, so I gotta focus. Still have a lot of silk, which is beautiful, so I can actually, you know, potentially heal myself or use it for an ability. So never a bad thing to have too much silk, to be honest. Again, used it again. By the way, I also just hooked the thing, her pins. So I automatically thought I have to bind her. By the way, it's fucking awesome what's happening right now. The whole UI just completely changing and going whack. Sick AF. Like, sick AF. Good. Love it. And this is why it's actually clearly the bad ending. Think about this. You have gone through, you did the pilgrimage up to the Citadel. You granted wishes to other people. You helped many people that couldn't be helped. And you did. And ultimately, this is what happens. You just fuck it all up with this. You fuck it all up by just... The entire Citadel is just full of silk now. And you ultimately probably killed a lot of people now with this. And this. You now become the Weaver Queen. It's so beautifully told in a story way. Because, like, they had to think about this. Because you granted wishes, right? You didn't do quests. You granted wishes that people had in this difficult time, in this difficult world. And in the end, you just bind yourself to the Silk Mother, or I think your grandmother Silk, and become the Weaver Queen and just completely obliterate the Citadel. Because you see corpses, right? And like corpses that then got bind into silk. So this is probably what happened to all the people in Songclave that you actually wanted to help. So it's like, it's the, I don't know if this is the right word, the antithesis of a bad ending. It's beautiful. It's just so complex. This is a fucking game about bugs. Like, the storytelling of Team Cherry is like on a whole different level. Beautiful. Also, nice ending. Nice credit scene. Right? Very, very pretty. Also like the silhouettes. Also, one silhouette was about a boss you haven't fought yet. Or I haven't fought yet. Keep in mind, I'm still missing an ability until now. So, one thing I was kind of surprised by is, of course, we get the classic, through the darkness and dangers you persevered. Thank you for exploring the world of Hollow Knight Silk Song. Let's meet again on the road ahead. I'm surprised that it doesn't say the world of Farloom. Of course, we get the classic game completion, 15 hours, 42 minutes, and 5 seconds. 9 hours of that was farming, probably, because I was bad. I didn't get the percentage yet, and I don't know why. Either they took it out for now and it wasn't finished yet, or you only get it after the true ending. So it's like, I hope this can be added, because I would have loved to know what, like, what is the, what percentage do I have, or did I have? So, yeah, this was kind of missing. But yeah, here we are now, back in the game. Of course, classic video game, you spawn back right before it happened. But because you, I think, now went, I don't know if you, because I killed the final boss, or just because I went into that room or something, certain dialogue changes now with NPCs. So, for example, if you go back to the seamstress, right, where you get the upgraded cloak so you can float, it actually she actually tells you something, or you say something who's at the top. Like, you actually mention something. So, that's kind of interesting. I like that dialogue changes as stuff happens. That was my first playthrough of Silksong. I hope this made somewhat sense. For reference now, I went from Mossy Grotto. Why am I mixing this name up? The Grossi Motto, that's what I'm gonna call it. It's called the Grossi Motto now. To the Bone Bottom, to the Marrow, to Deep Docks, into Far Fields, up to Greymoor, over to Haunted Bellhart, into Shellwood, into the Wormways, up to the Blasted Steps, into the Citadel, or technically the Underworks, up to the Choral Chambers, did a bunch of stuff there, and then pretty much finished the game. I did a few other stuff like the Sinner's Road and all that, but I briefly went into the Slab, but realized I can't do anything there, which is wrong. I could have done something there. I just wasn't. I was scared when suddenly, you know, my character froze nearly to death, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be here for... Let me just not be here. So, there's a lot of stuff left, and I played a lot more offline. I'm not gonna go through this here. It's beautiful that after 15 hours of playtime, I continued to play 8 more hours, and there is still more to do. Like, I'm still far, far away from probably what's there. I think I'm still missing 2, 3, 4, 5 areas, something along those lines, which is insane to think there are even more areas. I think there is even like another ability with the slash. I know there's a parry. I don't know if that's an unlock, if that's a certain button combination I haven't figured out. I got slightly spoiled looking into something. There are certain versions of bosses that you can fight again. I'm gonna say it like this, as very spoiler-free as possible, who knows? There's a lot. There's a whole lot more, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing to continue playing it offline. But when I'm done, and have hopefully seen the true ending, until maybe there's a DLC and there's a true ending, who knows, I'll be streaming it live on Twitch. So if you want that, go follow me on Twitch, link in the description. And yeah, more videos of Silksong to come, as well as the other video I've been working on for so long, script-wise. I definitely want to make that happen, a retrospective of an older game. And with this, hope you enjoyed, hope you stay hydrated, and see you next time.